So today we're going to hit souvenir slides. I did a show back on this way back in 1922, I realized, but I forgot to hit record that day. So I double made sure that I hit record today. If you were one of those people that were here back in 2022, you may see some repeats of things. If so, I'll apologize, but I think a bunch of you are new, so we will go through it. And what we're going to be looking at primarily is the Pana souvenir slides. You may remember these. They were sold in gift shops all over the place. They came in, like this particular one is a set from Knott's Berry Farm. But they came in these plastic sleeves, and you get a little cardboard thing up top, and we're telling you that this is Knott's Berry Farm in Ghost Town, set 2, and then you have each of the slides. The slides, if you look at them, are bigger than the 35 millimeter slide. I'm sure I have a 35 millimeter right here. So just by comparison, you can see that there's still 2 inches by 2 inches, but the image area on the PanaView slides is much larger than the 35 millimeter slides, which is great. You get a lot more information, bang for your buck. The trouble is they do not fit in the Nikon CoolScan scanner. The slide will physically fit, but the scanner is set for a 35 millimeter slide, so you end up with a bunch of the image missing. So what I have to do is scan these on a Epson flatbed scanner, which is slower than the Nikon. The digital dust removal is also not as good, and the color correction is not as good, but it's the only way you could do it. Even with that, the slide holders that come for the Epson are made for a 35 millimeter slide. So I had to get a Dremel tool and cut out the plastic to make it wide enough to get the slide. So they're a pain in the butt, but they can be fun. So let me start here 1 second. Let's see, share screen. One of these days I'll figure where they hide this crap. Oh, there it is. If it was any closer, it'd jump up and bite me. I thought I had that screen. Well, let me go back and find that slide, and I will make sure it's done. Okay, so share screen. Oh, 2 people in the waiting room. Let them in. Too many windows open here today. So again, we are going to present for your pleasure a selection of natural color slides from the pictorial library of your host. Now, when I was traveling around, I used to travel a lot. My grandparents would take us on trips each summer. Then my parents, and then I'd go on my own, and I would buy these slides. Over the years, I've ended up with several thousand of them, and they're really great because if you go to places like think of a place called Letchworth State Park, upstate New York, they would go out on the ledges and things like that where you're not supposed to go yourself, and they get all sorts of pictures that are great. The only trouble is that they fade over time. They used a film stock, generally Eastman color instead of Kodacolor, and they went red. Some of them go really red. This one still has a little hint of colors on it. The first ones of these were done with cardboard mounts. They were done by a company called Sawyer's at the beginning, and those cardboard mount ones really have turned red and become very, very hard to fix. But luckily with the computer, you can take something that looks like this and bring it into something that looks like this. And this is about maybe 5 minutes worth of work of color correction. What you realize over time is that the Epson, like I said, it doesn't do quite a good job with dirt removal and that sort of thing. So it takes a little more time to work on these things than you might like. But again, I enjoy doing it because you get views of places that you just would not be seeing otherwise. So anybody else besides me collect I think Carol's home. Oh, nope, it's my son coming in. Anybody else besides me collect any of the PanaView slides?
I have quite a few.
Oh, great. Yeah.
I was gonna say not like I don't have any Disney in the whole collection, which is kind of what I look for.
Yeah, I did talk some of the Disney ones. I have quite. Matter of fact, that's one of the reasons I got into the photo restoration thing. When I was working for Disney, I faithfully bought every one of these things I could possibly do it. Very carefully put them in a slide tray, put them in a closet, stored them under ideal conditions, and they all rotted and turned red. So I was like flabbergasted. I was really upset because, you know, I besides when we spent a lot of money, there were a lot of great views in there. But luckily, you can fix the Disney ones. Not the older, some of the real older 1956, 58 ones can be really iffy, the Sawyer ones, but the ones from my era are pretty good. So what I've
So
done
what's
is
killing all the trees in that image? Why are they all dying off?
oh, so they're on the beach. They get hit with salt water.
Wow, you can see in the distance, even inland, quite a bit. They look like a
Probably
lot of dead
winter.
trees.
It's probably winter. This is a slide from the Oregon coast. So what
Okay.
I've done is I divided all these up into states, and then I've put them into the slide sets as they're known. So this first slide set here is we're going to be in California. We're going to go up to San Francisco, and we're going to go. Maybe Herb will recognize this from his time there. No, I don't think Herb was ever locked up in Alcatraz.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I was there.
Oh, well, you were
I
hopefully
was
just visiting.
I was in there.
What's fun about these slides again is they capture things back in time. If we look at Alcatraz today, it does not look like this. They've had fires, they've had all sorts of things. That big long building that spans along there, it's mostly in ruins. I think was the warden's house is burned down from all the occupations and everything they had. But
What year was this?
they're not dated. None of these have a particular date on it. They're generally the 1960s. That was the heyday of the what you call it, the
And
slides, 60s and 70s. Matter of fact, when home video started first coming out, I went to Disney and I tried to make a pitch that just like we saw all the Pana View slides of the park, why don't you sell a video cassette of the you know, all the Disney, like the home movies we've looked at on other weeks. Why don't you sell those at the thing? And they said, ah, now everybody's getting their own digital cameras and stuff, and they stopped. The Pana View stuff started dying out.
Yeah, they are deliberately not dated because that would cut
Yeah,
back the sales life.
yeah, good point, Wayne. Right. Yeah, if you were there and the slide said 1962 on it, and you were there in 1973, you'd probably pass on it. But we are looking back at San Francisco from Alcatraz. So this is again to try to date it. It's in the tourist days. It's not when it was an active prison. And we get to see a prison cell. Yeah, I don't think I'd want to spend much time in there. Again, Alcatraz for the San Francisco skyline. I may go back to some of these. They're still looking a little reddish on that one in the building. I'll have to see what I can do. And we set sail on the boat. We're coming back from, well, actually here, according to the title, we're approaching the island. I think Carol's home, so we'll see if she lets herself in here. Then we hop down here to Beverly Hills, California, the Beverly Hills Hotel. Big debate going on about all the palm trees. They're not native to the area. They're all planted here to look nice. They provide next to no shade. They take a tremendous amount of water, and they burn like hell in fires. So there's a whole big thing about not putting palm trees in. Yet they just did a major thing at the Los Angeles County Museum of Art. And what did they do? They filled it up with palm trees because when you come to Southern California, that's what people are expecting to see palm trees.
I was going to say they've become an iconic thing, even though they're not native. It's even when you see them do silhouette artwork for the city, that's always got the palm trees in it.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
But they do burn like hell. About 4 years ago for the 4th of July, somebody set off a firework, illegal firework, and it went into a palm tree and next to an apartment building and burned the entire apartment building down. It lit up like a Roman candle, just shooting stuff everywhere. So that they are very dangerous. And of course, what else we have out here than native rock? Eucalyptus trees, right? And they burn like hell too. So we've done a good job of making our habitat here a tinderbox.
Well, not to mention that every time there's been a major brush fire for years, they don't do it anymore, but they used to bring in Scotch broom because it'll grow so fast and make the hillside, but it's totally invasive. Most of the insects and animals can't use it for anything, and it's just taken over. So, we've always been so good about environmental things.
Yeah.
Here in Tucson, they have like 5 or 10 palms a year that are set on fire by lightning.
Yeah. We were just back in New York, and you can see that kuzo, that invasive weed taking over. It's all over so many places. So Beverly Hills, Fountain at Night. I don't know if this is still the Beverly Hillcrest Hotel, but it's looking pretty nice. Will Rogers State Park. There were 2 parks. The Will Rogers house just burned down in our most recent fires, but this one is in the city area. Then there was another where his house was. And then here, oh, this is a great one, Sunset Boulevard. If you look there at the back, you can see the thing that says Carney's. Matter of fact, let me zoom in on it. Carney's hot dogs and hamburgers, and you can see a train car behind it. And that fellow bought a train car, put it there on Sunset Boulevard, and turned into a hot dog and hamburger place. Well, if you're fans of The Big Bang, there's one day that Sheldon is figuring his perfect day, and they're going to have lunch at Carney's, and they're going to go there because he's at the whole day based around trains. And then for dinner, they're going to go to the other Carney's. So it's a real. We have one here in the valley, and then one over in that area. Again, you can date this stuff easily by figuring out when Islands in the Stream was in the theater. And we have some cars for you guys to figure out.
You're
Mhm.
saying there's no native palm trees at all in LA? They were all planted?
Yeah,
Every
pretty
one of them?
much. So what's
I'm surprised with that
9.8?
climate there, you think palm trees would have grown.
No, I think they pretty much brought them in. So what's this
I
first
think-
car here, Brock?
I'm not sure. I think it might be a Chrysler product. It's a little different. This is during an era where I wasn't paying as much attention to car design because they were pretty bad and they were all the same.
I
That's a
can
Dodge.
read Dodge.
That's a
Yeah,
Dodge
same.
Dart.
Yeah, okay,
Yeah,
so it
Dodge.
is a Chrysler product. Yeah, I was gonna say, I thought it was I didn't think it's a Dart. I don't remember the Dart ever having these little humps on the side. I think it's a
Yeah.
larger Dodge like the Polaris or whatever they might have had.
No, the Dodge
Polar.
Dart had those in 71.
Oh, did they? Okay.
My mother had
Very good.
one.
That's probably in the
Alright.
60s with the big bumper guards on it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And of course, that's a bug in front.
Yeah. What's interesting is
Yeah.
there's no chrome badging or anything to tell you that the model of the maker of the car, the model of the car,
yeah,
anything.
it's I think right in that chrome area between the taillights. I think, isn't that where
Yeah,
you
there
saw
it is.
that,
Yeah.
Wayne?
You can zoom in on it, you can see it. Yeah. It
Yeah, there it is.
says Ford? No.
No,
No, it's
Dodge.
Dodge.
Yeah.
It's a Dodge.
Yeah, it's a Dodge. I said I thought it was a Chrysler product, but I wasn't
Yeah.
exactly sure which one.
What
Interesting
does
is they
that
said it's Beverly Hills,
Las
California.
Vegas? Sorry,
Sorry.
what does Las Vegas Hilton's billboard say?
Okay, let's
Paul
see.
Anka.
No, up in the upper left with the rainbow.
Oh, down the other end.
March 24th through the 30th, Paul Anka.
No,
No, the
far
other
left
side.
with the
The other
rainbow.
side, Las Vegas Hilton.
Yeah, but what is the second line?
The end of the rainbow.
Oh,
The end of the
okay.
rainbow.
Okay.
Yeah.
I
You go by this
attended
area today, it
many
does
a convention staying at that hotel.
Yeah, if you go by this area today, it's changed an awful lot. Again, I get a kick out of this is Beverly Hills slide set, right? This ain't nowhere near Beverly Hills. And we'll go for a theme park visit. We're at the Bush Bird Sanctuary of Van Nuys, California, which is today a giant parking lot. We mentioned that last week. It's became more valuable for taking trucks in and out of there than providing birds. But this was really nice. I mean, there's none of this left. It's everything you see in every one of these pictures is gone. but you take boat rides through here. They these pavilions out here. You can get your food, sit out there. They gave out free beer, so you get your free beer, sit there, eat your lunch, watch the birds, go on the log flume ride, have a great time. So, like I said, totally man-made. Everything here is sadly gone. But the bird shows were fun. There's still a number of birds that they say got away. We were talking about that a bit last week. The factory is still there. The signage has changed. They don't make Bush Bavarian there anymore, as far as I know. Down below, you can see the monorail. We saw that last week. You got a free tour of the brewing process. And inside, you got to see all the vats of beer. And they had bird shows. Again, that was the very first thing was Bush Bird Sanctuary. And then they added, you know, to try to keep up with the Disney, some theme park type attractions. But again, these were all bright red. Sometimes you can get them looking pretty good, and other times there's still some hints there. Boat rides would take you through with a tour guide pointing out all the birds. Now, if we were on the Jungle Cruise, we would say, you know, again, I'd like to point out all the birds. There's one. Well, there's one over there too. But in this one, they actually told you what the birds were. Scarlet macaws in this case. A painted stork from India. A concave cascade hornbill. So again, you know, why people would buy pictures of all the birds, how often you look at them, I don't know, but you can still see some of the pylons for the beer, tram ride are still there in the parking lot. So it's kind of interesting. If you go and talk to people that work there today, most of them have no clue there was ever a bird sanctuary, a monorail ride, a theme park, or anything. Gnome Village. I'm glad they labeled them so I have an idea of what these all are. European storks. Hey, I think everybody would know that even if it wasn't labeled.
Oddly, my first theme park experiences were as a baby, at Busch Gardens, and Magic Mountain had just opened.
Really?
And so, yeah, I was looking at old photos. I'm like, oh my God, that's Busch Gardens.
Like I said, this was a beautiful spot. It was really close to home for me. So taking people from out of town was real easy. The free beer was really good. But you could go there after work on a Friday night. I mean, I was living in Burbank at the time, and from Burbank to I could leave Disney and be at Busch Gardens about 22 minutes. So you know, go out there, just have a nice quiet night, have a free beer. It was a great deal. So we're gonna leave the birds, and let's see where we go next. We're kind of going in alphabetical order. Oh, we have more Busch Gardens. So you could buy one set of Busch Bird Sanctuary, or another set titled Busch Gardens, and what do they have? Birds. And you'll notice a lot of these pictures are the same ones that we just saw. And that's what they would do, is they would repackage them from time to time in different sets and bring them in. So if you went out there, you might buy it and not realize you'd already bought it before. We're going to go to the Cabrillo National Monument now. Part of the National Park Service. And if you don't know this area, it's out obviously by the coast, and you can see the city down below. It looks like a Navy ship is in town. There's a whole nice memorial out there for seafarers and people coming across. Then they have a thing in there. There's a lighthouse been out there forever. They have the old lens for the lighthouse. Now it's got a much more modern light. They've got a very nice museum out there. You can go see the original model that was used for the filming of the Poseidon Adventures there. So if you're in the LA area, it's a good spot to go. and how the lighthouse keeper used to live. Most of these slides were sold in sets of 5. Sometimes they came in sets of 4. And obviously sometimes you had multiple sets. So, oh, this is the Cotter living room. I hope you all enjoy it. No, it's Hearst Castle. Anybody besides me been to Hearst Castle? Eric, I'm
Yeah.
sure you've been there. Yeah. Oh,
Yeah, I've been there.
It's such
Just driven by.
an amazing spot.
Yeah, it's earthquake proof too, the way it was designed.
Wow.
I've always considered, though, it's a nice place to visit, but I wouldn't want to live there.
Yeah.
You know,
Why not? Why not?
it's
big?
just a little bit, I don't know, stuffy. I don't know. It was like too overdone with stuff. The thing that's
Ostentatious.
amazing, there's warehouses
A little
of
too
crates.
excuse me, mail call.
Okay, I was gonna say there's warehouses with crates of stuff that they bought over in Europe to use on the property that never got used, and they're just sitting in the warehouses. Who knows what artwork,
Yeah.
whether it's famous pieces or in furniture and stuff like that, and it belongs to the state now. And I don't know if they're ever considered selling the stuff off or opening it up and seeing what it is, but it's kind of amazing that
And
there's all this
imagine
stuff
having
that
to
was never
dust and
used.
vacuum all that.
Oh
I wouldn't
yeah.
want to clean it.
Well, that's what Citizen Kane is based on, Brock.
Exactly.
Is it?
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, you go down to the warehouses that are, I don't know. I gather you were talking about all the stuff he bought that they never used.
Yeah.
They go to those warehouses down at the pier, and you wonder if they're still in there or they moved them someplace else. But kind of amazing. We were just back in New York. We went to one of the Vanderbilt mansions on Long Island, and he was like a mini
Hearst, yeah.
Hearst. He was buying, this particular Vanderbilt bought some ceiling and had the room built to, fit the ceiling. They brought over and everything. So those people live differently than we did.
Have you ever been to the Biltmore House in Ash?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's quite a
The
place.
biggest private house in the United States, bigger than the White House.
Yeah.
Well, didn't know that.
It's over $100 admission to walk in there now.
Wow.
What?
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 That's the basic tour. It's about $100 plus parking.
Oh my
Wow.
God.
Wow. So this
We
is
went
the
I think we
Neptune
went for
pool.
free.
There's 2
Yeah.
pools at Hearst Castle, the indoor pool and the outdoor pool. Albert Fisher, who's been on a number of our talks, did a documentary on Hearst Castle for the Hearst family and stayed in one of the cottages there on the property. And part of his perks was after the tourists all went home, they all went out swimming in the pool. So that's a big perk for the people that work there. Again, that if they, all the hoi polloi go home. And they actually do sell a package where you can come in and get a nighttime tour and go for a dip. Evidently, this pool is not heated and is cold as hell. So
Yeah.
They told me that I was there. You see that Roman temple? That's actually came from Rome. They brought it over and they assembled it, but they
Yeah.
put rebar in the columns to make it earthquake resistant.
well, Albert said that it was a great honor to be in there, and it was one of the most exciting 2 minutes of his life. It was
2 minutes.
Who knows? Maybe he got to stay in the Della Robbia room.
You know, I was thinking that warehouse, full of unknown things would be a great episode for that. What was his name? Geraldo Rivera or something like that?
Yeah.
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 My garage is often that way. I have boxes and boxes and boxes. I'm not joking. And I will go in there to clean up the garage and open up a box. And the next thing you know, 3 days later, I'm still going, when did I buy this? I don't remember this at all. Oh, this is the coolest thing I've ever seen in my life. And down that rabbit hole you go. Welcome.
You can open it up and there'll be nothing. Like didn't he open up some vault or somebody's something and there was nothing in there?
Capone. He did a
Al
Capone vote.
Al Capone.
Al Capone,
That's right.
yeah.
That'll be your house someday, Bill, when everybody opens up all the boxes of slides and videos.
Yeah. Well, hopefully by the time I'm gone, this stuff's all gone too, because I do not wish this on my heirs.
Maybe you can do an episode showing us all that stuff.
Yeah. It is actually every now and then I do find stuff that I cannot have any recollection whatsoever that I bought it. It's like, well, I obviously did.
That's a good idea, Bill. You could do like a live feed in your garage.
Oh, yeah, right.
All those in favor?
Yeah,
it's
I got
Yeah.
me.
that episode of TV called
Opposed?
Hoarders.
Yeah.
All
it- yeah.
opposed, Bill? Raise your hand, Bill.
Yes, you'll be on the Hoarder episode.
It's not quite that bad, Irv, but it was the garage. The rest of the house is okay. The garage, oh my God, because we had all
You
the
got a
stuff going
wife
there.
that's gold that puts up with all the collection.
Well, I was buying stuff for years, and I realized how much I was paying to put stuff, keep it in a storage locker. I mean, you first get in there, it's not bad. It's $50 a month, and a couple of years later, you realize it's $400 a month. Well, so I took all the stuff out of the storage locker. Then my daughter moved out of her apartment. My son got out of his apartment, and so we have all sorts of furniture. And now my daughter lives up in Seattle, and she doesn't want the furniture anymore, and I've got to figure out what to do with it. Anyway, we're Hollywood at night, and then we can again come back and see what are they playing here. It's hard to make out a thinking man's Goldfinger. I wonder what a thinking man's Goldfinger is. If anybody can find that slogan, but we got some nice convertible pulling up there. So this looks like before they changed it into a multiplex. And looking from Griffith Planetarium across the city, there's the planetarium down here. A lot of these theaters and everything here, if you went to this area today, it's changed so much. Hollywood at night. Freeway looks as busy as ever.
Is it
The
never?
ball. The ball.
Hollywood Bowl, you can kind of come back and figure out when some of these things were done, because if we zoom in here, this area down here with the fountains, they decided fountains don't pay money. People that would buy seats would pay money. So they filled in all the fountains and put more seats in here that go for big bucks. The city aglow. You wonder who writes these captions. Hollywood Boulevard. And the Chinese again. Let's see if they're showing the same thing. Sean Connery, Agent 007, and Thunderball.
Wonderful.
Toss Coffee Shop, long gone. Oh, another thing that's changed, CBS Television City. This is now, it was sold recently to another company, and they had a very sad thing when they came and took the CBSI off the building. But this is where they did so many shows like the Carol Burnett Show and all sorts of others, Price is Right, that sort of thing.
That's not the television sitting near the farmer's market, is it?
Yes, that's the one near Farmers Market, right? Yeah.
That's the same building?
Yeah, it's been greatly expanded since this picture, but that's the one, same one.
So you got Television City on the East Coast, you got Radio City.
Yeah,
What's playing
a little
there?
more advanced. The Cinerama Dome is still there. It's it closed for the pandemic and it's not been open. The company that was running it went bankrupt, but other people bought it, and they keep saying that they're going to open it soon. We can see that they're showing The Greatest Story Ever Told, and
That
they
was a
would
good movie.
yeah, so they would do all sorts of neat signage and everything out here. The show's going to be here at 8 p.m., so we better get our tickets. Luckily, there's not much of a line. Downtown again in Hollywood and Vine, so the Broadway Theater and the hotel. Let's see.
That's a 57 Ford, by the way.
Oh, here?
Very
Yeah.
distinctive taillights.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
very. Can't tell what that
That's
is
me.
above. Looks like a
And
General
hey,
Motors product.
here's a good deal for us. 14-day cruise to Mexico, $430.
An airline ticket office.
Yeah, that they don't have those anymore. We could also see Dan Daly and Richard Benjamin starring in The Odd Couple. So,
Bill
again,
is
I was
the.
going to say. Oh, go ahead.
I'm sorry,
Jerry.
Bob. Go ahead. Oh, I was just going to ask Bill if it said the Taft Building, is that still there?
Taft Building, I don't know, to be honest with you.
The Hollywood Taft Building.
Yeah. See,
Yeah.
here's another one that's gone. The Brown Derby, the restaurant.
Derby,
that's
yeah.
gone.
Yeah.
United California
big
Bank
round
doesn't
hat on
exist anymore.
What were you going to say, Brock?
It's
Well, I was
gone.
gonna say that price for the cruise to Mexico is still valid today, except that's the daily price.
It said it's from Los Angeles, isn't it? It says from Los Angeles. It's not very far.
For Mexico? No, it's not.
Right under the $430 is from Los Angeles, I believe.
Yeah. So we're gonna go now to the Japanese Tea Garden in California, which is, I believe, up in the San Francisco area. You can get some pretty good detail out of these pictures, so we're looking here at the Lantern of Peace. That looks like one heck of a bridge, doesn't it?
Gee,
I think going
You
up
can't
would be
drive over
easy.
it.
Coming down might be a bit of a challenge. I think, thank God, they put
Yeah.
handrails on
Is
it.
she wearing
Yeah.
high heels in that picture?
Yes, I think so. Let's take a look.
That would be
Yeah,
a
that-
really hard one to do.
They
That
look
bridge
like
is tough
fun.
regardless of
they're
your
low.
age.
They're low heels. They're low heels.
Got a
Flats.
heel locked on the edge of the step.
Yeah.
Either way you look at it, it's going to be a challenge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna go see now. We have one of my favorites. If you come to LA, what would you absolutely have to buy pictures of? But the LA freeways. You know, back then when they started doing this, that a lot of places in the country didn't have anything near what we have in terms of freeways. So when I first moved out here, I still remember to this day getting scared to death of I was coming on an Interstate 10, and I had to cross 5 lanes of traffic to get from my lane over to the exit. I mean, the biggest road in New York was, I think, 3 lanes at that time, and most of them were 1 lane, or even like the New York State Thruway is only 2 lanes, so a 5-lane freeway was just crazy. And then the newscasters on the radio would start talking, well, we're at the traffic's bad at the 5 level, and you start counting up some of these things. There's 1 level of road, 2 levels. I mean, the intersections got famous for having their own names. Harbor Freeway at night, and again, it's time lapse, so the things will blur in.
The Slauson cutoff. Get out of your car
That's
and
where-
cut
that's
off
where
your
you-
Slauson.
Carson used to say you have to get out and cut off your Schlosson.
The
Yes.
Slauson cutoff.
The Slauson
Yeah.
cutoff. I love that whole thing. And again, youth of today, you mention to somebody like, oh, you have to cut off your Slauson. They, what the hell are you talking about?
You never watched Johnny Carson?
Yeah. Little things that have changed, if you look at the signs here, that has Route 99. There is no Route 99 anymore. There is no Route 66 anymore. They've all changed to standardized numbers to go with the national naming convention and that. So
Look at the traffic even back then.
oh yeah, I mean, even back then, who knows what time of day or anything this was, but I figure this guy's got a good parking spot here. The truck. But he was probably part of it. They have a service out here. They actually do station trucks along the road, so that if there is a breakdown, they try to get them out there as fast as possible to either get the car repaired or towed off the road, so that they don't jam things up.
Screw things.
This one here again, all the signs here, everything has changed. The Harbor Freeway now, I think it's the 110. The San Bernardino, where's this here, south, that's the Interstate 5. So all sorts of things have changed. But 1960s, would you say, for this? There's a VW van. There's
Yeah,
Yeah,
most of the
well,
cars
there
there
were
are
some-
60s.
There were no interstate highways in the 60s. They were just beginning them.
no, they
Yeah.
started them in the 50s under Dwight Eisenhower. Eisenhower
There were
was the
still
guy,
U.S. highway numbers here.
What's
Yeah.
the purpley one at the bottom? The old one, at the very
It's a
your
funny
mouse
looking
is
car.
that one.
That's
Yeah.
That's a Studebaker.
Studebaker, yeah.
Studebaker.
There's a
What's that red thing in
Chrysler.
front?
There's a Chrysler behind it. That green. That red one's a little foreign job. I can't tell what that is.
Yeah,
And
and the
no
one
SUVs.
by the VW Bug in the back, the little one on the right to the
Yes.
left of it.
There's
Down
no
wonder
further.
That's an
Yeah.
Impala behind the Bug.
okay.
Yeah, That's an Impala.
Yeah.
There's a police car too.
Oh, where's the
Where?
police car?
On the extreme right.
Oh, there
Yeah.
it is. Yeah, the far right,
Oh, yeah. Oh, God.
bottom third.
The bubblegum machine.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's actually an
You
interesting
guys still
one.
call them that?
They used to call them that, yeah. No,
Yeah.
right now they would just call them light bars. But this is interesting because look at it. It's got some sort of a thing in the back.
Yeah,
What
like
is the
a,
thing
a,
in them?
a carryall. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's
pick up
just the
truck,
trunk. That's a Ford. That was I can't remember what year that was, but there was a little tail light on that upper thing that's going off the back. That's just got a trunk back there. It's not
Oh,
an
wow.
open bed.
Mm.
You know, we
There's a Thunderbird. Took two Thunderbirds in that picture. Just above that slightly.
okay. Yeah, you know,
Kind
some
of
of the
yellow.
vernacular has changed over the years, Scott, but you know, there's still sayings in there that people use that when you ask what does it mean, nobody knows. So there was a meeting a couple months ago where somebody said, okay, we have a particular type of patrol going on. And I put up my hand and said, what does that stand for? And everybody looked around the room and said, I don't know. You know, I mean, we know what the patrol is, but what does the acronym mean? And our
Yeah.
captain said, I think I used to know that. But it was like everybody, I forgot what the particular thing was. We got, for tonight, we're doing a special SNAP patrol. What does SNAP stand for? I don't know. But you know, the LAPD has a vernacular all its own. If you watch the old Adam 12 shows, they're always going out and meeting their sergeant. And he's always Mac, the sergeant. He's always whatever division they're working, 17L90. L90 is always the watch commander. You know, I mean, and that's been time immemorial. I helped a guy proofread a book that he wrote about his days on the LAPD, and he was talking about. I was there filling out my DFAR, and I said, you know, look, nobody's going to know what the hell a DFAR is. Daily Field Activity Report. If we take a car out of service, we don't go to the shop, the kit room, and say the car is broken or out of service. We have to go, my shop is BO. And BO broken order, which is an old terminology from railroads. So how the hell I got in the LAPD? But when we bring in somebody new or trying to train them, and you tell the guy something like, go to the kit room, get the shop, turn in the keys for the shop and tell him it's BO. The poor guy is like, what the hell are you talking about?
You know,
That little red car that was down in the front there.
Yeah.
I think that's a Peugeot.
Yeah.
Ah.
at one time, I dated a police
Yeah, that.
sergeant in Chicago, and she said the best thing about it was coming home and talking to somebody in English.
Yeah. No, we're constantly saying on the radio, what the hell is that? You know, I mean,
Bill, there was a movie called Clueless with Alicia Silverstone and Paul Rudd that had a scene about merging onto the freeway in LA, you know, and getting off. Well, they were, you know, getting their learning permits and everything.
oh
It's,
God. Like I said,
yeah,
when
it's really
I first,
iconic and super funny.
when I moved out
What
here, it
airport
was
is that?
buried in hell. It really was. And I can remember sitting at the Sheraton Universal Hotel on the balcony, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock at night, just watching all the cars go by. And I had just moved here from upstate New York. And in 15 minutes of sitting on that balcony, I'd see more cars than you'd see in Albany, New York, in the entire day.
Yeah.
So this is the
What
old control
what
tower.
airport is it?
LAX.
This is LAX.
Yeah,
That's the
That's
old control
LAX.
tower. It's still there.
still there at the end of the airport.
Yeah,
All
they don't
these-
use it as a control tower anymore, I don't believe.
No, I think
I
it's
think they
there
built
for
a new.
emergency backup of the other one.
Yeah.
All these parking lots are now multi-story structures, and this roadway going around here is all a two-level absolute traffic jam.
Yeah, there it is.
Yeah, the theme restaurant. The only time I ever ate at this restaurant, my dad was flying from here to Australia. He came in, got off his plane. Carol and I went out and met my dad there. And matter of fact, it was the first time she ever met my dad. So no pressure. But we went off, and they discovered they had a mutual love of guacamole, and I hate it. So their friendship was sealed forever. This restaurant was then done years later by WED or Imagineering, and a whole thing. What was it called? Encounter Brock? Was that what it was called?
What was that?
The
The name of it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't remember what they put it up there. I know they did all sorts of special lighting for it and everything, but unfortunately they just can't use it as a restaurant with, security and everything else the way it is. There's just no way to get people to come to it and use the restaurant. And it's a great building.
Yeah.
Be neat if they could move it someplace else where it could be used.
Yeah, they try to
Would
salvage
that
it.
center support,
and
would the center support the building without those outriggers?
Yeah, that's where the elevators went up and it did help support the center. So these could, I think, be a lot thinner, the structural legs could be a lot thinner, but they do hold, they're part of holding the building up.
Yeah.
But it
do
was
hold
just a
them up.
very classic space age look to it.
Yeah, if you remember
Very
the old
iconic.
TV show The Man from Uncle, the very last 2 episodes, there's a 2-parter, and I think it was called something like To Seize the World or something. But they show the Thrush Base in the mountains of Nepal, and they're using that as the building. They put a matte painting and other stuff around it, so it's still there today. But like I said, the traffic in LAX is so bad, there is no way you would ever consider, if they gave away the food for free, people would not go.
Yeah.
So it's
I
really
always thought it would be neat to have the thing get up and walk away.
Is the
Yeah.
restaurant still open or is it closed?
it's closed.
No, it's closed.
Closed for about 10 years now.
And like
So
Bill
what do
was
they do
saying,
with the
all
building?
that space between the tower and that building is like a 3 or 4 story parking structure now. So you
Right.
can't even see the building. You see the top of it is about all you see.
Yeah.
So what are they using the tower and the space age building for?
So this one here,
Yeah, what's it used for now?
I
it's
think that's still an administrative building that they
Yeah.
use. And like Bill said, the actual control tower part is a backup control tower in case something happened to the other one.
yeah. But all
Okay.
this is a 2-lane road. It's just changed incredibly. Another nice view.
I hate it.
Bill,
I
did
hate
you fly into JFK?
Oh yes, yeah.
How
one
much
was
of the
fine.
nightmare?
I'll tell you, Scott, I said to Carol when we were there, they were saying the signs about building a new JFK for your future. Well, we're leaving the 1990s behind, I have never in my life been to JFK. They have not been doing construction on it. And that is not an exaggeration. Every time I go there, where did that road go? Look at that new terminal. And I still go back and say, oh, that's the Eastern Airlines terminal. It's all locked in my brain. It's something else. But oh yeah, that's just great fun.
Did you
That's
get to,
typical most airports.
the only one
They're all
that's
over
worse,
there.
Bill, is LaGuardia, because when the report came out and they put LaGuardia dead last, it finally motivated the city to say, okay, we've got to do something.
Yeah.
And it's worse getting into LaGuardia than it
Yeah.
is to get into JFK, if you can imagine that.
Oh no, I've flown into LaGuardia too. I can definitely relate to it.
I've actually started using Republic and Islip.
Oh,
I'll drive out to Islip. It's wonderful.
yeah. As long as you can't get there from LA, but
Actually, you can.
well, how many
There
stops?
is, oh, nonstop, not yet.
Yeah.
Not yet.
So we
But
go out to LA.
JetBlue is thinking about it. They may do a iSlip to LAX.
Oh, I would love that. So jet bridges, brand new sort of invention there. In Burbank, we're still using stairs, but the new terminal they're building will have jet bridges. People come to Burbank, they can't believe it. They've got to go on stairs. Now this next match is for Eric.
Yeah.
Magic Mountain.
Ah, yay.
If we were to call this off right now, I could walk out in my car and assuming there was no problem parking, I could be walking into Magic Mountain in 20 minutes. So we live very close to it. We used to have season passes for it when the kids were younger, and they absolutely loved Bugs Bunny World. Almost everything we're going to see in these pictures today is gone, but there's still some remnants of it. If anybody remembers the movie Roller Coaster, it was shot out here.
No.
Loved it.
So we have a funicular railroad going up the mountain here. Monorail. Like I said, a lot of these things are gone. Well, this
I
was a
think
fun
ro
bumper
I think
boat.
Roller Coaster was the last film to be shot in Sensurround.
Oh yeah, right, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, when that thing was in a theater, and if you were in the theater next to it, you could tell when that thing was going. It
Give you a headache.
Oh yeah.
yeah, they had boats like this way back to the 1939 World's Fairs, where they called them bob-alongs, and they did all sorts of things. So this is just like the what you call it, the flying saucers, but on water. So you can go out there and drive around and bang into people. And we have the Gold Rusher, which is still there, kind of neat little roller coaster. What was fun about this was it started in the hills and all of a sudden it took you down out across a lake. You can see the log flume ride and the skyway up here. As a pilot, the tower, I'll come across that in another one, was a great way to know you were finally getting back home when you could see the Magic Mountain Tower. The only trouble was when they were doing the TV show Black Sheep Squadron, the airport they were using was very, very close to Magic Mountain. And in one or two shots, you can actually see the top of the tower sticking up in what's supposed to be Bella La Cava in the South Pacific. You can spot the top of this building. Their monorail called the Metro. Carousel still there today. All this is gone. You got little sailboats and just on a flume ride taking you through. Seen anything that rings a bell, Eric?
Oh yeah. I mean, I was literally 1 year old the first time I went. But the Gold Rusher, when I went back as a younger kid, I enjoyed that the most. I think the monorail was still around. I can't recall, but I'm sending you a couple of pictures in email just of
great.
our first visit.
One thing that was fun when Warner Brothers had an interest in Magic Mountain before Six Flags did, they used all the Looney Tune characters and that sort of thing. So they did a Christmas party where they brought the entire park was closed for the night. All the Warner Brothers people went out, and then they had several restaurants that were open for free food. You just walk in, take whatever you wanted. So you consider in an average day at a theme park, you may have, whatever number, 30, 50,000 people. At Warner Brothers, we had maybe 4,000 or 5,000 people. So you could just walk on any ride you wanted, walk in. I mean, the food places you could just walk up to, I have 6 cheeseburgers. Here you go. It was great fun. Great log flume ride. Like I said, this was, they call it here the children's area, the Bugs Bunny Playland and everything. The kids absolutely just love that. Back to the LA freeways. Oh, no, wait, we're still at my... Octopus ride. Oh, no, this is not an octopus. This is Billy the Squid. Barrels, crazy barrels of fun. This is the teacup ride from Disneyland, but done as a barrel, and let's do it and tilt it so it's more fun. That's exactly the same sort of thing. You just went around and spun it as fast as you could and try to induce nausea.
It's funny, the that new attraction at Epcot, the Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind the roller coaster, reminds me of riding the octopus rides, because the roller coaster car or the attraction vehicles, they pivot, they spin around kind of on the y-axis. So there's parts where you're going up and down and you're kind of tilted to the side. And I was trying to explain that to someone. It's like those octopus rides, and no one knew what I was saying. But they're like spider rides. No one knew what I was talking about.
Oh wow. There's Skyway.
Fun being older.
You used to have a big water show out here, and again, Dancing Waters, just like they had it back at the 64 World's Fair. They moved the same thing out here. They had one of them for a while at the Disneyland Hotel, and then down here, or up here rather, at Magic Mountain. If you go there today, this is all gone and is now a water park. So, you know, lazy river and giant flumes and all sorts of things. The main entrance. So we will continue on our tour. Let's see where we're going next. Another place we've seen before, Marineland of the Pacific. And oh, Flipper's going to talk to us. I wonder what he has to say. I
Let
want
me
to go
free.
home. Let me out of here. I jump for food.
Thank you for all the fish.
Yeah. Not a big crowd that day. Oh, I guess I made for it up this day. Hey, seared tuna. Amazing how high those things can go, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, how high would anybody want to guess that is?
15
From
feet.
water level, at least 15 feet.
Yeah. I have thousands of these things still waiting to be scanned and read. Matter of fact, I have thousands that I've scanned, and others thousands waiting to be restored or done at all. Now we're down in
Cole
Buena.
even captured the water splash without it blurring. You notice that?
Yep, we're at the Movie Land Wax Museum. So it's interesting, when this was sold off, a number of people bought them, and this one lady bought a whole bunch of them and actually put them in her house, including the flying Model T with Fred McMurray from The Absent-Minded Professor. What's amazing is you look at some of these today, you can see why these things don't last. You come down and say, okay, the movie here, Rasputin and the Empress, went 1932. I mean, this stuff was dated by the 60s. Some of the figures are pretty good. Others you have to look at and say, you know, I wonder what they were thinking. I thought they did a pretty good job here on the Gone with the Wind figures. Now, Clark Gable got billing on the slide. What about Vivian Lee, right? And if you don't eat your vegetables, I'll have her come and babysit you. Oh, scary. Some of the Jean Harlow, some of the faces were not so great.
Yeah, looked like maybe many years after she was a famous star, they
Yeah.
made the wax figure.
Yeah.
Marilyn Monroe. PT 109 with Cliff Robertson.
Yeah.
Great movie.
This one I thought they did a pretty good job.
Oh, African Queen.
Yeah.
Wow,
African Queen.
that is great.
High Noon.
I knew
They
that.
obviously spent the money on Gary Cooper and not the gal.
Well, but there's something about that didn't look right about Gary Cooper's face.
The
Well,
Shine.
and she looks like a masthead on a ship or something like that.
Yeah,
The
yeah,
little
she does.
gal.
Yeah.
Yeah, the figurehead on a ship.
You Dirty Rat. I'm the King of the World.
Edward
No, the
G.
King of the World was Jimmy Cagney.
Oh,
Laurel and Hardy.
Yeah. Here's
Look,
another
there's a guy
fine
with
thing
a-
he's got me into. Shirley Temple, The Good Ship Lollipop. Oh, I just love the Thin Man movies.
yeah, Basta.
And Asta. Asta could do all these things. I can't get my dog to do anything. Actually, I can get her to eat. That's about it.
It was the dog that made the show, right?
Yeah.
Did anybody notice that the good ship Lollipop was totally wrong?
Was totally
No.
what?
Wrong?
Oh yeah. Yeah. No, they just threw it in there. Now I looked at this one and I was trying to figure out, like, what the hell is this? A thermostat or something? What the hell? I cannot figure out why that's there.
That's what it looks like.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ah, that
On this
Chica
one,
looks good.
yeah,
Groucho doesn't.
I shot it
Harpo's
in
not
my
too bad.
pajamas. How I got in my pajamas, I'll never know. So
Let's put the golf club in the snow. Yeah.
What's my
our gang, the Little Rascals, Nancy Kwan,
what? Oh my God.
Sophia Loren.
Yeah.
Oh, we have to be daring with Bridget Bardot. Please do not touch the figures.
Oh my God.
What is she covering?
Here's one for Carol, a fan of musicals. So we have West Side Story.
Oh.
Ward Bond, Wagon Master. I
Oh,
thought
there
they
they
did a
are.
good job on these guys.
Yeah, that's a good job.
That was
Now, I wondered on this one, was Pernell Roberts in there and then they took him out?
It's really a
Yeah, the one
shame
on the left
about
looks like a
that.
painting.
Does
Looks like a
everybody know
painting.
about Viewmasters, the 3D films that you can
Uh-huh.
get? Did everybody know about the famous Bonanza Viewmaster reel?
no.
No.
If you go and get it, it's really great because they're all standing there, and all three of them have their, all four of them, Pernell Roberts, they all have their fingers like sticking out of their pockets with one finger out, or somebody else would be rubbing his cheek with one finger out. Turned out they were made to go and pose for the pictures, and they didn't get paid extra for it. So all four of them are giving the camera the finger.
Oh,
Oh wow.
Yeah, that they made it. They sent it out by the thousands, and then people started complaining, and they went and made them redo another one. But it's a real famous intentional blooper. But they're all giving the camera the finger.
You know, do you remember the story too? How Guy Williams was asked to come in and be a part of it, and they had such a click going that they just never accepted him, and
Oh yeah, yeah. On
you know,
Bonanza.
it was really awful. They were
Yeah, he was really good.
beloved characters. They were really nasty people.
Cousin Will.
Yep. Yep.
and
Connor.
Cool.
Bill,
But they
The
did a good
Duke.
job on the Duke here.
Yeah. What
Bill,
was that from Wagon Train?
Hondo.
Hondo. Thank you.
Yep. Much
Bill,
younger
here's one.
in Wagon Train.
During the Vietnam War, when they took pictures of the American prisoners, they all
Yes.
did the same thing.
Yeah.
They gave the finger.
Oh.
And when they were doing an interview with one of the pilots, and they were giving him, they gave him the script, the propaganda. He actually blinked
Yep.
Morse code to the Navy, and they picked up, and they got a lot of information on prisoners
beat
they
the
didn't
crap
know were
out of him
alive.
for that.
Yeah.
And we're up here to Muir Woods now, up north. Again, a lot of these things were sold in sets of 5, but as I've accumulated them over the years, sometimes some have gotten lost. So I'm going to see a 3 for this particular one. But if you've never been up there, Muir Woods is a great, beautiful spot to visit. Very, very peaceful, and it's not very far
Going
out. Would you say out of San Francisco, Eric? 40-minute drive.
It's like over the bridge and a little bit more. Yeah, not far at all. Once you're up there.
Right. Yeah,
Yeah.
once you get over the bridge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now we're at Nut Tree, California. Nut Tree is
Oh
a
my
big thing
gosh.
where you could fly your own airplane in, walk across the little railroad here and go to a very elaborate restaurant. I don't think this is still in existence. I'm not, does anybody know for sure?
Yeah, it's a glorified it's a shopping center rest stop area. I haven't actually stopped, but we passed by up there.
Do they still have an airport and a train and
With
everything?
that part, they do have like young kid carnival kind of rides. Not many, just
Oh,
like
okay.
a carousel, and they might still have the train, but I don't think there's an airport by any
Great.
means. Yeah.
Cookies. So pretty fancy for a restaurant, right? What kind of cars are these guys?
Well, there's a Porsche, the yellow one. The other one is
Red one is an MG, I think.
yeah, I was gonna say I thought it was an MG, yeah.
Yeah, by the logo on the hood.
Yeah. So it looks like a fair number of airplanes there.
All right, Bill, what kind of airplanes are there?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Bill, it's your turn to shine.
Okay. Well, let's see. That's a Cessna.
Two engine
Actually,
Cessna.
I tell you, I can tell you Cessnas, some Tomahawks, and warplanes I'm pretty good at. But to tell you which this dual engine here one was, I'd be totally lost. I never got any time in a dual engine plane because they always said if one engine fails, the other one will get you the crash that much quicker.
Ooh. There was a brand Piper too. Is that a possibility?
Yes, Pipers are generally low wings.
Okay. Well, there's one in the front left.
So now we're up to Palm Springs, the aerial tramway.
Oh,
If you've not done this, it's a fun ride. You can, we went out there one time, we were on a business trip and they said, go up to the top. And I brought a heavy jacket and it was really hot down in Palm Springs. So people said, what are you wearing a heavy jacket? Got up there and it was some like 39 degrees up at the top of the hill.
Video slides that he had purchased over the years of places.
So distance and cable car miles,
I know.
not as the eagle flies, but in cable car miles. If you've never been up there, again, it's a very pretty ride, but you have a very nice time walking around up there. But just looking at the terrain, you can see here the rocks and everything. They had to put this thing over. My hats off to the people that built these things. This is how high up you are. Now, Palm Springs, of course, is probably way built out from what we're seeing here, but this gives you an idea
Yeah,
of just how high up
early
you
days.
go.
The tram floor on the current trams, the floor rotates as you go
Oh.
up.
Oh,
Oh,
does
yeah.
it? That's
Yeah,
that's
it's
how the one is
crazy.
in South Africa.
Yeah. So you know,
Cable Rock.
people always want to stand in a certain area. Well, I mean, unless you're standing in the center of the car, you're always going to have to see a new. It moves slow. It's not like a
Right.
thrill ride.
Oh,
No.
you combine that with the teacups.
Yeah, exactly.
Have little saucers all around it.
Mount San Gorgonio is a very high mountain in the area, and unfortunately, this is the one that Dean Martin's son Dino flew himself into when he was on a training mission.
Oh
Oh,
no.
wow. What's the altitude of that mountain?
I don't know off the top of my head, but big. Again, you get a lot of snow up there.
Huh.
And we're gonna go down. Too bad Randy's not here today. So we're down visiting Long Beach. Here is the day the Queen Mary arrived in Long Beach. You can see there were Navy ships escorting her in, and every pleasure boat of every type you can imagine all wanted to be part of it. So she came in and under her own power, docked, blew the whistle, called down, done with engines, and now it's still sitting there. I mean, thank God they saved it. It's unlike the SS United States, which is being ripped apart to be sunk as an artificial reef. But the Queen Mary fell into some dire times. They've now put another owner in there. The city's put a bunch of money in there. Over the years, they had taken out some of the fittings of some of the restaurants and bars, and now they're saying they're going to try to restore some of these things to their original shape. That they luckily, when they took some of the stuff out, they saved the pieces in storage, or they're going to replicate some of the others. So they're trying to make it more of the 1930s experience and lesser of the 1980s redos that they did.
It was
They
great
took
when
the
she was
lifeboats
next
off
to
a
the
number of
Spruce
years ago
Goose.
because they were saying they were getting rotting, and they would give anybody a lifeboat if you wanted it. But there was about a 22-page document of liability releases you had to sign for the city of Long Beach, and nobody would take one of the lifeboats, so they were all scrapped.
By the way, Bill, Gregorio is 11,500 feet.
Oh, thank you.
Oh,
So luxury stateroom, things have changed a little in the places that cruise ship you get on today. And a lot of these have been repurposed for meeting rooms and restaurants and things like that. Let's see, we have a little bit more in California. We'll go way, way south and we'll hit San Diego. So view from the hotel here. It's actually, my parents stayed in one of these hotels. I can kind of come back and recreate this picture from theirs. Look at all those boats. It looks like everybody owns a boat and they use it about as often as I use the airplane. So
uh-oh. When was the last time you used your airplane?
oh, let's see. Was Neil born? No.
Don't you have to have so many hours a year to keep up your
Yeah,
license?
I've actually let my license lapse right now. You don't have to have so many hours a year, but you have to go for a biennial flight review to prove that you still know what you're doing. And I can go right now. I can still fly it, but as a passenger, I've not kept my license card. My partner died, and I ended up donating the plane to our flying club, and I still have use of it.
Oh,
But now I don't have to pay the bills on it.
well, good, smart move.
When we go on to Catalina, this again, you can try to date these. If you look here, there's a Catalina flying boat, and at time that was a service that they had between the mainland and you could fly a Catalina to Catalina. There was also a paddle boat steamer that would take you across, and just go back to this full size for a second. Other than the change of the planes of the boats and everything, a lot of this would look pretty much the same today. Catalina does not get a lot of change or growth over the years. Here's the famous steamer, the SS Catalina, went back and forth, became non-economical. They stopped it. They went to the faster boats now. A fellow bought this as a present for his wife because she enjoyed it so much. They took it down to Ensenada, intending to get it fixed up. It sprung a leak. It sunk at its dock in Ensenada, and now since then has been scrapped.
Hmm.
I
And
believe
that was another thing that Guy Williams used to do. Is he had a large sailboat, and his favorite thing was taking people out to Catalina.
yeah,
And that one story where they got in a huge storm and they all thought they were going to die.
that would have ruined the series, that's for sure.
Oh, I think this was after
Oh,
Zorro.
this is
Yeah.
called the casino out here. It's not a gambling casino, but they show movies out there. They have performances of live bands. One of my friends is a musician, and they go and they ferry them out by boat. They do their performance and they ferry them back again. He says sometimes the ride back can be very bumpy. The winds come up at night. But Catalina, Carol and I went over there a number of times for cleanup dives. You can imagine all these boats in the harbor, people drop their car keys, beer cans, all sorts of stuff over. So you would go over and you would bring out a lift bag, fill up as much stuff as you could, inflate the bag, float it to the surface, bring it in, go get another bag. And you find all sorts of stuff down there. One of the things that was a real pain to clean up, this guy wires would snap on sailboats, and they'd be down there, and you'd have to try not to get tangled up in them. But there were the piers, the local kids would have contests to see how far you could run down a shopping cart and launch it into the water. So you come down
Oh,
to the
no.
here, and down here you might find 10, 20 shopping carts. And
Oh,
they're heavy, trying to get them up out of the water. The weirdest, and then you'd find guns and rifles and that sort of thing. The
wow.
weirdest thing we found out that we did not find it, somebody else on one of our dives found, was a full-size porcelain toilet. Not a porta potty or something that would fall off a boat, but something that you'd have in your bathroom, and it was out here in the water. How the hell it got out there? You know, what the hell?
Have you two stayed overnight on the
Oh
island?
yeah, you would
Oh
go
yeah.
go out in the morning and do the dive, and then have a big party at night, and then
Nice.
maybe do a dive the next day, and or then head back.
Very nice.
Let's
Joe and I just sailed out once and just round trip, but we,
yeah,
just day trip. Yeah.
Well, we
Same.
went out for one of
Yeah,
the day
same.
trips. Brock, you remember Paul Osterhout?
Yeah.
Yeah, Paul and I went out a couple times, and we were there one day. We took the boat over, and as we got there, Paul realized he had forgotten his hood for his outfit. And you don't think it makes a difference. Boy, we got down 40 feet or so. His head was hurting so bad. It was so cold and
Yeah.
everything. But when we had a great time, we were doing some wreck diving. We had a great time. We got on the boat, and we were coming back, and we had both used the scopolamine patches. And the boat was tossing like a son of a bitch, right? And people were just throwing up everywhere. So, you know, Paul and I were fine. We were eating. So he says, I'm going to go get another hot dog, right? And he calls all across the room. All these people are sick. And he yells, Bill, do you want chili in that hot dog? People are running for the windows. It was great fun.
Well, I remember we went over there a couple of times with the what was the Indian guides out of the YMCA. They have a
Right.
camp on the island, and we'd go there.
Huh.
And one of the times we went out, the night going out, it wasn't choppy, but it was very rolling, and we had a lot of seasick people. Coming back, we almost didn't get to get off the island because there were Santa Anas blowing from the inland, you know, from the mainland, and it was very choppy. They weren't sure they could get the boat into the harbor safely. They finally did. They were loading one kid at a time with two people. You know, it took forever to load the boat. So we're going back, but because it was a wind blowing chop, the boat was just cutting through it, and like almost nobody got seasick.
Oh,
And
wow.
we were expecting, you know, with the trip over, that the trip back, everybody was going to be seasick, but it was something about the wind blowing water. It's not a rolling effect. And the boat just kind of cut its way through it. And it was a very different, it wasn't like it was a smooth trip, but it wasn't the kind of thing that gets you the seasickness where it's really, you know, you're rolling around.
Yeah.
Give me turning
Yeah.
green sitting here. I know I go out to lunch. I'm not going to have chili in my hot dog. So we're back to New York now. This set is from
Ooh.
Canada, and this is the Thousand Islands. This is Bolt Castle. Story here. Anybody else besides me been up to Bolt Castle?
Long time ago.
Yeah, Carol, of course, has. But what's really nice about it is, hang on one second. I lost my picture here. Where'd you go, picture? Hang on. Come on. Where did that go on my screen? That's really weird.
We all still
There you
have
go.
it.
Okay. Yeah, Bolt Castle, this guy Bolt was building this on this island, and the island he had shaped like a heart, and they named it Heart Island. He was just about finished building it. His wife died. He was brokenhearted, never set foot on the island again. And just like his castle, there was all sorts of stuff in crates just left sitting in this island for years and years and years. It fell into ruin. You know, like most of these ancient buildings, the roof goes, the building goes. But then the bridge authority that runs the bridge between the United States and Canada bought it and has been restoring it. And they've done a really nice job. They opened up a whole bunch of those old crates and have taken, for the first time ever, put the rooms. It's not that they're restoring the rooms, they're actually finishing the rooms that Bolt had started. So if you're up there, this is a really, really beautiful area. You can get there from either the United States or Canada and take a tour of it. This is Zavakan Island, and if I remember right, this bridge here is the shortest international span. The bridge, the line goes between the United States and Canada, goes between the two islands.
So which side is the United States side?
Yeah, this side's the United States side. You can see a United States flag up here. And over
I thought
here,
that
the
looked like an
Canada
American
side.
flag.
Yep.
Funny.
Off to the Canadian side. Thousand Islands is really, really beautiful. If I had money, I would have a summer place in the Thousand Islands. It is just absolutely gorgeous. Friendly people really enjoy it.
And there's also very good diving up there if you like cold water.
Yeah, if you like cold water, you know, like in this picture here, this is called a salty meets a laker because the one ship just goes up and down the freshwater area, the other comes in from the ocean. We were there on a recent cruise, and we were going over one of these big ocean vessels, the one in the back here, had sunk in the seaway, and they were telling us we're right over it, and it's something like 120 feet down, and you don't dive on it because the the ships are all overhead. But massive ships and wrecks and all over the place over there.
Literally thousands of wrecks.
Yeah. Observation tower, the sky deck is called.
Is that a big slide to come down on?
Nope, those are the stairs. Those are the stairs going up. Yeah. We're going to stay in Canada and we're going to go to the Rockies. And again, this is why you would buy these slides in the first place. The odds are you would not be taking pictures of a brown bear and cub, particularly at this distance, unless you had a death wish.
Actually, Bill,
Where's
that
a
was
black bear?
it says black bear, even though it's brown color, it doesn't have the hump on it.
Right.
That the grizzly is a brown bear and the others
Right.
are all called black bears.
Okay,
Right.
well, this one is labeled brown bear and cub.
Yeah, it's a
Well,
brown black
it is
bear.
brown in color.
Yeah, it's a brown black bear.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Yep.
You talking to me?
Young moose.
Oh, deer. After hitting a deer in New York, I don't want to see any pictures of deer. Let's
Wow,
get
that one's in velvet.
When did
Must be
you?
that's an early
when did
spring
that happen,
picture.
Bill?
Are we still in Thousand Islands or?
No, that was the Rockies.
Oh, okay. Okay. I was
Now,
going
hey,
to say, because it looks like a mule deer. And
yeah.
Yeah, but it's in
Technically, we
velvet.
also sell slides
Yeah.
like these
Yeah.
that you could stick into your slideshows. So if you're going over your neighbor's house and it's going to show you the 350 pictures they took of Rome, like I did one time when I first went back to Rome. Realized I overdid it. People are zombies now, but you can stick these into your slides.
Bill, when did you hit a deer on your visit here?
What's that?
When did you hit a deer?
The last trip we were in New York. Yeah, we were on Route 17 outside Deposit on our way to Binghamton, and he came leaping across the road, and he did not. 1 second more, we would have been okay. 1 second earlier, we would have probably totaled the car. So we got him a glancing blow on his right rear quarter, and I hope he survived. But the car, when I brought the car back, the guy said, "Oh wow, hope you had a good trip." Oh my goodness, what happened here?
Thank God for the collision waiver.
And that was the first time I've ever taken it. I just said on for whatever reason, I'm going to be driving in some really weird roads. I'm getting ready for cataract surgery coming up at night. Just whatever. I'll get this done. I took the insurance, and didn't cost me anything. So that was thank God.
That's the Air Force Academy.
Yes,
I'm
we were
sorry I
in
couldn't
Colorado
hook up with you.
at the Air Force Academy.
Some people have told me that your car insurance will cover a collision.
It will.
It will, but it will not cover some of the incidental stuff for it.
and you'd still have a.
Your car insurance will cover like the repairs of the car. But one of the things the car companies get you on is that every day the car is out of service, they will charge you that rental fee. So if it takes 3 weeks to get the car fixed, and they normally rent it out at $80 a day, next thing you know, you could be paying that out of your
Yeah, Carol, you'd have to pay the deductible if you used your own.
Yes, you have to do the deductible, and you don't want to do anything to make sure insurance company think about raising your rates or canceling you.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah.
I know you were very thankful you had taken the insurance.
Oh, I would have been just chewing my nails for the whole rest of the trip. Oh God, oh God, oh God. This one was like, I hit a deer. Oh, it took off a chunk of the car. Well, let's keep going.
By the way, Bill.
But we had a good dinner.
No.
No.
Venison.
It ran off into the woods,
Yeah.
which was good because hopefully it was not mortally injured. But I'm just wondering, did you see it closely enough that you could see if it had antlers?
It did not have antlers.
No. Okay.
Yeah.
Probably a
Probably
doe.
young.
I
Younger
hit
a
a deer
doe.
one time in southern Colorado.
Remind me at the end of this, I'll go look for the deer picture.
Mhm.
Yep. So we're at the Air Force Academy. They have multiple faith chapels inside. marching around.
Not a dirty pair of pants in the whole crowd.
Bill, could you go back? Could you go back to the temple for a second, please?
Yeah. This
Could
one?
you zoom up? Could you zoom up above the Torah? Just go up a little. Okay, they do have a light.
Up here?
The candle with the star. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
All right.
All right. Air Force Academy. Let's see where we
Wow,
go.
sure looks different now.
Yeah.
Where's the runway?
Good question on there. Looks like they had a grass field then. Now we go to Cripple Creek, Colorado. I wonder if the Imperial Hotel is still there. Because yeah, dining, cocktails, and rooms. Good thing to have in a hotel.
Like every building there is a casino there.
Yeah. This thing was so bright red, I was really glad I was able to bring the sky back on it. Again, sometimes you just end up with a very few of these because they're mixed in with something else. This is another one here, the Durango Silverton Railroad. Anybody else been on that?
I've been on it.
It's really a great
Always
ride.
wanted to.
They built this entire
You go rafting down there. You go the railroad one way and rafting the other.
Sorry, what, Irv?
You go rafting in one direction and you take the train back.
Oh, okay. Yeah, they built this entire
the,
railroad in 1 year. Today, you couldn't do the environmental impact statement, but they built this entire thing. This is used in all sorts of movies and TV shows. Butch Cassidy, when they blow up the thing, you think you used enough dynamite there, Butch? You know, that's the way they blew this up. But we took the train and we went from the Durango over to Silverton. When we got to Silverton, there were all these kids selling pieces of rocks and crystals and stuff. And Neil was really into rocks at the time. We went back the next day, and one of the local tour, he was a guy that does the highway maintenance, took us up to all of these abandoned mines above Silverton. And we still have about 50 pounds of rocks in a box. It was just a wonderful, wonderful spot.
We upset the whole balance of the United States.
Yeah.
Dinner for $1.50. $1.50 dinner.
Like
Here they made
the
a big
earth is
thing about
wobbling
the-
now as it rotates.
Yeah, they made a big thing here because the horse outrun the train, and when you got into town, which still has dirt roads and a very quaint thing, you get your chuck wagon dinner for $1.50.
That's got to be a long time ago.
Yeah.
They wouldn't even cover the tip today.
Unless you were a lousy tipper.
Yeah.
Going alphabetically, we're into Curacao in the Netherlands. Like I said, they sold these slides all over the world. They were mostly in the United States, but I do have quite a few from around the world as well.
Curacao, part of the ABC.
We have not been here. This is on the list of places to go to. Old Dutch Kitchen Museum.
Government House.
Is he still on guard, keeping the place safe for you? And we are going to the other Bush in Florida.
You restored all these slides?
Yes, I restored all these. So we're at the Bush Zoological Gardens as opposed to the Bush Bird Sanctuary. And they went with this old England style of their entry. And I'll make it easier for you guys. What kind of cars we have here?
Well, there's a Chevy Impala.
Red Chevy.
Convertible. Top goes down, price goes up.
And then
Two
you
of
have to
those
buy a
there.
new top.
What's
after
that one
10
past
years.
the red Impala there? I can't remember. Is that a Buick? Somebody that did it was kind of like a reverse swept wing, you know, or fin on it that they did.
Yeah.
That was a very interesting design the year they did that.
There's a Chevy pickup.
Yeah.
Yep. So yeah, I'm
That's another Impala next to it.
Yeah, there's a 59 down there, that dark one.
Mm-hmm.
What's the turquoise one on the left? Oh well.
Turquoise on the left. That's a
Yeah.
Ford.
That's a,
Is it?
yeah, that's a Ford. You can tell from the tail lights. I forget the
Yeah.
car
Okay.
name.
Like a Ford Fairlane?
No, I think Galaxy, I think. Wasn't it
Yeah.
Galaxy at that time? They're
Galaxy.
big. Yeah.
Not an SUV in sight.
And we taking
Well,
our
back then we
XUV,
called
they
them
didn't
station
exist.
wagons.
Yeah, I
Today
was
you
gonna
can't find
say.
any sedans. No sedans today. Pickup trucks and SUVs.
Here's a question, guys. Why do Ford name all their SUVs with an E? Excursion, Escape,
'cause
Edge.
they're
Because
expensive.
of
Why?
Don't know.
Edsel. I wonder if it's a tribute to Edsel, the son.
Could be, but his car was the bomb of bombs.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, right. But I just
Yeah, I
wonder if
noticed
that's the
that
way
before. They all start with the letter E. They all start
Yeah.
with that, but nobody knows why.
All their SUVs.
Cypress Gardens, Florida now.
We have a Ford SUV. It's a Mustang Mach-E. So
Oh,
it's,
that's the electric.
yeah.
That's not really an SUV.
Yeah, that's
How
that's
isn't it? It's a glorified station wagon.
Oh,
Yeah,
down
but
here,
it's supposed to be a
Cypress Gardens.
it's a
Mustang.
six-figure glorified station wagon.
This pool was built in the shape of the state of Florida, and it was done for a Esther Williams movie. If you remember, she
Are
did
those
all
real
those
girls? Are
looking
they
things.
the mechanical or real people?
Those are real people. They would do a whole
It
big
looks
thing.
like they're on a track.
Up in
They're on a.
gowns
following a
and
track,
posing for pictures out there.
No, I think that was just to give the effect of the ocean coming up to the land. You know,
The beach.
how they used to do
Topographical
on
map
maps.
type stuff.
Maps,
Yep.
yeah, maps
Yep,
used to
yep.
do that.
Oh yeah, it looked like a track at first.
Yeah, it does. So yeah, you're right. Or
We know where we are now.
Everything.
I can hear the mosquitoes from here.
The national bird.
Wow, yeah.
We've taken the airboat ride down there, and that's great
State
fun.
bird, I should say.
I mean, you're
Yeah.
going along there, and the thing's tearing along at 30 miles an hour and heading towards absolutely solid land. You're going to crash. You're going to die. No, it was just reeds. But
Mhm.
sometimes it's land. And I asked the guy one time, "How do you, know where to go?" And he says, "Trial and error. You learn over time."
yeah,
One of the very first Mickey Mouse Club episodes was a newsreel on airboats, and the Boy Scouts were, riding with, in the airboat, and it just showed them flying through everything. I always thought that was so cool. And then in high school, we'd go duck hunting with a friend that had an airboat. It was a blast.
One thing we realized is you definitely want earplugs.
They are noisy.
So we're in Key West, Florida now. The Coast Guard has a nice facility. And let's see.
That
it's a
building's still there.
Ford. That's a Ford. That's a Corvair behind it.
Unsafe at any speed.
I wanted
the
one
engine.
so bad.
Oh, the
but-
conch train.
Oh, look at all those fish.
Wow.
Can you name the fish?
This bridge down here was originally built by a guy named
Salty.
Flagler,
Salty. Yeah.
and it was a railroad. And you can see the trestle here that the trains ran on. Well, the railroad ran into trouble after a major storm and got wiped out. So they decided rather than tear it down, they took the trestle and up on top they put a road for the cars.
Yeah.
A lot of these
It's the old
bridges
flag of the railway.
by more modern ones. But it's kind of amazing when you think the trains all ran down here and the cars ran up there.
Wow.
A ride if you're very patient, that's for sure. Then we're going to go and visit Jungle Larry. And
Wait, are those native palm trees?
in Florida, that I don't know.
Hey, you're down in the Keys.
This is a Tiguan, a half tiger, half lion.
Wow.
That must have been an interesting night
Omaha.
I don't think Jungle Larry's is still there anymore. I think it's another victim of Disney-itis.
I saw a liger somewhere. I can't remember where it was.
Sure you weren't seeing heffalumps?
No, it's definitely called a
It's
liger.
mentioned in a
yeah.
movie, a more contemporary movie recently, Napoleon
Yeah,
Dynamite.
how'd they get the animals to cross mate like that?
They hit them with a stick if they don't. Is Beth still with us? We have a whole bunch of Georgia views coming up.
Yeah, I think she's here.
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
still here.
Yep. So you can tell us if any of these places have changed or still the same or gone. We're in the Battle of Atlanta Cyclorama building.
Yeah, so the cyclorama moved. This building used to also house the Texas, and they moved both the Texas and the cyclorama to the Atlanta History Center. So I don't know if this building is actually still there. I'm not sure, but I know the cyclorama and the Texas are not there anymore.
Great. Thank you. So all pictures of the cyclorama. I always get amazed at the amount of detail. I mean, if you zoom in on these things, all the uniform pieces and the rifles and the backpack and rucksacks and everything, the amount of time and effort it takes to do one of these things has got to just be phenomenal. So
Yeah, they have another one in Gettysburg.
yeah,
That's where I've seen it. Yeah,
been to the
yeah.
Gettysburg
Yeah.
one a couple times. But again, I have no artistic skills, but I just really admire the people that can do these things. Do you know,
Wait,
Beth, if this was done by a team of people or one guy over 20 years, or how they came to be?
Yeah, I don't remember. I do know that when they moved it to the Atlanta History Center, they did a really nice job of, sort of cleaning and restoration. And there's a nice little film that they show like every half hour. And one thing that's sort of cool about it now is, that back part of it is really just a big canvas. And the way that it's sort of positioned now, when you go into it, it makes a full circle. So you kind of go in underneath it. And when you go in, you can see the back side of it, and you can see how that canvas is stretched. I've got some pictures of it I'll have to find, but it's really interesting to see sort of how that canvas is stretched. But yeah, they did a really nice job of it when they moved it.
Yeah, I understood they also restored some historical things that have been taken out for political correctness, and they put them back again.
Yeah, I mean, this picture is of a event, right?
Yeah,
What?
there's a diorama with a painting behind it to make it look like it's much, much bigger. So I think they did a nice job.
Yeah, this is part of the cyclorama. One of the figures in the cyclorama is Clark Gable. I don't know if you've got a picture of that, but there is a little Clark Gable in there.
Gone with the Wind.
There he is with the mustache.
No, I don't think that's him. I think he's on the ground.
He's one of the 3D figures.
Yeah, he is.
They picked him up from the Hollywood Wax Museum when they closed.
All right, we'll go to the next batch here for Georgia. Now we're going to go to Stone Mountain Plantation. Again, I imagine some of this has changed quite a bit.
Yeah, I mean, the park is still there. It still has the carving on it. There's still a lot of controversy around it. A lot of the buildings are still there. And this is where they moved the Coke Tower after the World's Fair. There's a nice little covered bridge over there. And there's a skyway kind of thing, a little tram that goes up to the top. So
don't they have like a Mount Rushmore type carving in the mountain?
Yeah, it's called Stone Mountain.
Yeah, Stone Mountain. Yeah.
They'll probably
do a projection effect on it.
I think
they do projections. They do like a big laser show and fireworks and. Yeah.
Oh wow!
Yeah, they project images on it.
It's like an ode to the Confederacy. So it's something.
Yeah.
So there's always a lot of controversy around it. And
you've been to Noah's Ark exhibit in that area?
No.
There's a Noah's Ark they built.
That's in Kentucky. I haven't been there.
Moonshiner's still.
Someone's making some good stuff.
There you go.
There it is. There's the carving.
Yeah. progressed much further from this? Are they still carving it, or does this look like this today?
It looks pretty much like that today. Yeah.
Okay.
See all the rock chips at the base. Maxwell.
Yeah, I guess we
Oh.
get all the debris, just chuck it on
Just
down.
all debris, just let it fall.
Yeah.
Okay, I have no idea what kind of car that is.
The
Jack
1909
Benny's car.
Maxwell.
Yeah, it's a
It's the Jack
Maxwell.
Benny's.
But I can see the caption on the slide. Then we
Ah.
zoom in.
Isn't that
Yeah.
what?
What's that?
Didn't Jack Benny drive?
Yeah, Jack Benny had a Maxwell.
Supposedly had a Maxwell.
His had an electric starter.
There's that tram. One thing that's weird about Stone Mountain, you see those little pools of water down there? There are little like sea creatures that grow in those pools of water that don't grow anywhere else in the world besides Stone Mountain. So
Really?
there's some nice exhibits. There's a little museum up on top of the mountain, and they always have a nice little exhibit about all those little.
And
They're
they
like
can
little
survive in the pool
fairy
and it
strands.
dries up too. When it dries up, they still manage to
then they
survive.
dry up. Right, that's right. Those things are all dry in the summer, and then in the spring it'll rain again, and and somehow those
There's the
little
creatures
creatures
again.
all survive. Yeah, it's amazing.
It's not the only place that has pools like that.
No, but these particular whatever it is that live in those pools are unique to Stone Mountain.
It's like in Death Valley, there's one little wet, it's not a spot, it's a little thing of water, and there's a fish there that's not found anywhere else in the world.
Yeah.
I don't remember what it's called. but
They showcasing a hole in the wall.
They have to protect it
That's
and
it.
keep
a hole in
everybody
the-
away from it.
Showcasing.
Now this set of slides, again, you go somewhere in the South and you could buy a set of slides from the Civil War, and they took a bunch of old pictures and put them on new slides. So here we see Lincoln at the Gettysburg Address.
Wow.
Wow.
See which one's Lincoln.
Well,
With the arrow pointed at him.
The arrow pointing at his head.
No, I thought it was the guy to the right with the high hat. There's a lot of hi hats.
over here, yeah, no, it looks like Lincoln's here without a hat.
Lincoln was a tall guy and he wore a hat.
Yeah.
The 1st Pennsylvania Artillery,
A Matthew Brady photo.
Gettysburg Devil's Den. Oh, this is a great one. The crew of the USS Monitor.
Oh boy. Oh Lord.
You been to Gettysburg? You been out there?
Yes.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
I'm sorry, Bill. What is this again?
This is the crew
Monitor.
of the USS Monitor, the first ironclad ship in the United States Navy.
And the other was the Merrimack.
If
The
you,
Merrimack and the
one with the
Monitor.
Merrimack, which was captured, was the former Virginia. This ship here really revolutionized American or actually sea power. There was a fellow named Dahlgren, and he invented this particular type of cannon that would be on this thing. And what made this ship so much more versatile is that this turret turned, and it could come up if you had your current, like the Confederates had the Merrimack, but the guns were on the left and the right side, or should I say port and starboard. Well, if you came up behind them, they didn't have a lot of guns that they could come around and blast you at. The Monitor could come up behind you, and it could turn the turret around and just shoot you as you were coming up from behind. And it was a very low profile ship. The Merrimack was much higher. They had basically put sloping sides on it, and the American cannonball or the Union cannonballs would bounce off this ship at an angle. But this thing came with these Dahlgren guns that were rifled, and the things were spinning, and they could just go right through the side of the Merrimack and others. So the Monitor was lost. It was being towed along, I think it was North Carolina. Big storm came up and sunk it. But in later years, they've gone and brought the turret back up to the top and restoring it in a museum. But like I said, this was a absolutely revolutionary ship for its time. And I believe it was built in Brooklyn, if I remember right, at the Brooklyn Navy Yard.
Thank you. Nice.
We will go see what you call it more. Let's say here. Underground Atlanta. So I don't know if some of these shops and everything are still there. We recently went to Underground Seattle. That was interesting. But here
Carrie
we
and
have,
I went to Underground Atlanta, one of our stops on our honeymoon.
oh, okay.
It
We
was
were in
the
the press room
first
of the
time I ever had
printers.
quiche
Oh,
and
They
never heard
tell
of
you
it
it's not
before.
worth going there anymore. Everybody warns you don't go down there anymore. It's not the same.
It's expensive.
Yeah.
Art at the
Everything's
Golden
expensive.
Eagle. We're gonna go to the front page and have some live entertainment. Let's see who's performing tonight. We have
Sure.
Maxima 71, so we have a rough idea.
His leisure
The
suit
outfit,
on.
you can also guess the age.
Leisure suit and a hot pants.
But you got some
Yeah.
private dining at the chessboard.
I remember parking was like $14.
Oh wow.
And this is clear back, in the 70s. And I told the guy, I don't want to buy your parking lot. I just want to leave my car here for a little while.
Ruby Red's Warehouse Band, proudly sponsored by STP.
Oh,
Dante's Down the Hatch Interior. This looks like oh, now we finally know what became of the Captain Hook's pirate ship at Disneyland, right?
or it could be the HMS Bounty after it sank. They brought
Yeah.
up the back end.
Exterior of the Humbug. The colorful Down Under Dining. Smoky Junction.
Where's all this stuff? Underground Atlanta?
That's where it all says.
yeah. So Dante's Down the Hatch isn't open anymore. There's a nightclub there. There may be another Dante's Down the Hatch in Buckhead or somewhere though. But the one that was in Underground is closed.
Now we're gonna turn our guest speaker over to Wayne, because we're going off to Chicago. So we'll see how many of these things ring a bell for you. There's a Prudential Building and the Art Institute. The historic water tower. Rockefeller Memorial Chapel. McCormick Place. Boy, this has sure changed. Wow.
Yeah. We used to have shows there every year.
Baha'i Temple.
Can you go back to the water tower? Yeah, that building on the right is the one I told you about. It was the Palmolive building, and it had a rotating beacon on top that you could see from any neighborhood in Chicago. And
The building it's kind of shaped like the Empire State Building without the spire.
yeah. But now all the buildings surrounding it are twice as tall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is Bonwood
Sears
Tower
Tower.
still around? Is Bonwood Teller still a going concern?
I don't know. I never shopped there.
Okay.
I saw the Beach Boys at the McCormick Center too.
And here's one that you should really recognize. The Chicago Museum of Science.
Yeah. One of the few remnants.
The human cell magnified. And this is, again, you can see way back in time, the U-505 and the Zephyr, the train. I first saw these in 1967 when we went across country to film on Scout Ranch with the Boy Scouts. And the U-505 was the first ship the United States Navy captured on the high seas since the War of 1812. So again, they came up on it and a small aircraft carrier shelled it. The Germans jumped off, they set demolition charges, and the Americans went down into it and salvaged it, got the charges deactivated, and they kept it very, very secret that they had caught it because they got the Enigma coding machine, the log books, code books, and everything. But I cannot imagine the bravery of the men that had to go down into a sinking German submarine knowing there's time bombs ticking and you have to find them. So
Admiral Gallery's book, telling the story, also has a a very complete account of the German captains of that boat and their different personalities. And
Right.
one of them, unfortunately, got himself in a bad spot. The second one got himself in a bad spot and was so convinced that he had ruined his life that he committed suicide.
Oh, goodness.
I remember the sub being inside the museum.
What's that?
Isn't the
Oh, yeah, it's
submarine inside the museum?
now. Yeah, back then this was outside, but they brought it in to protect it from the elements.
Giving the tours, that was something that every employee had to know because it was an extra cost attraction.
Yeah. Recreation of the gun deck of old Ironsides. People that don't know what all these ropes are for is because if you didn't have all these pulleys and you shot the cannon, it would go all across to the other side of the ship. So they would go
The
around
recoil.
and-
Yeah, it handled the recoil, and then you would haul on them to haul the back. You'd load it and then move it back out into the
Yeah.
firing position.
You wonder who the first one that set one off without the pulleys, what the reaction was.
Went to the
He
other
used to go
side of the
squashed
ship.
against the wall.
Here's
He
the inside of
squashed
the
against the wall.
U-505. You're going into the torpedo room, and you can see how these hatches are very, very small. Again, there's a pressure compartment, so if you get hit in one section of the boat, you can seal it off. I was very happy that the hatches on the submarines I was on were larger and easier to get through, but you definitely did not go running from one end of the boat to the other. Actually, during the war, that was something that they had to do. If they needed to get this boat down in a real hurry, and they redid this in the movie Das Boot, they would tell everybody in the crew, run to the front of the boat. And all the extra weight of the extra sailors in the front of the boat would bring the front down that much faster that they could get it under the water that much quicker. So these hatches would be open, they'd all go running through it, and the extra weight would help you escape the depth charges.
Yeah, and anybody that worked on one of these knew over time they could get where they would just grab these at the top of that. They could grab onto those things and just, as they flew into it, they just would fly through the opening of the hatch feet first.
Well, that's the only way you could go through them. These things are so high up that you couldn't just step over the sill. I mean, the distance from here to here, unless you're, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, you're not going to be able to step over it. So every time you went on these, even on the American boats, it's still the modern ones, you can still grab it and swing your way through the hatches. It's just the way.
Yeah, well, it's
I'm
a combination of the
picturing
top. Oh, go ahead.
Picturing O.J. Simpson running through the airport, just
Yeah.
sort
Yeah,
of leaping through each hatch.
That's only about an 18-inch hatch too. Very narrow.
Yeah, most of the
Yeah.
boats I've been on, there's actually a pipe that goes across outside the range of it that you can just reach up and go through. Just like you don't go down the companion ways on the stairs, you slide down them on the rails. I mean, they go through a whole thing of how to move from point A to point B very, very quickly.
Yeah, in the rooms that the tours actually go through, they took out half the bunks and it's still cramped.
Yeah. We're up at the Prudential building now, the futuristic lobby. And a view of the building and the loop from the air.
Yeah, this is another area that has completely changed. The Prudential building is next to much taller condos, and all of that railroad yard to this side of the Prudential building is now Millennium Park.
Millennium
The
Park.
rail yard is no longer anywhere near this size.
I don't know if some of the tracks still exist underground or not. I think not, because the Millennium Park is built on top of a parking garage.
Oh, okay.
They built Millennium Park on top of the rail yard.
Yeah.
Let's just get a couple more here. Let's leave Illinois behind. Oh, since we talked about Eisenhower before with the the interstate highway system, we'll go visit the Eisenhower home, Abilene, Kansas. I might have told this on a prior trip. Talking about Gettysburg, we had a thing where the Boy Scouts went out there and we helped the National Park Service excavate. They would give us a grid, set of wire mesh to sort things through, and you would count how many Union bullets, how many Rebel bullets you found, and they let you keep a bullet as a thank you, which I still have. But if you found a
Really?
buckle, they want to know which regiment it was from and everything. Well, at the end of it, we were driving back to where we were camping, and we went by Eisenhower's house, and we pulled up outside to take pictures of it. And Secret Service guy came down and asked what we were doing. He said we're Boy Scouts working on the excavation. We just went to take a picture of the president's house, or some of us said the general's house. And Eisenhower actually walked down the front walkway, came out to the gate, talked to us, and everything. And I was just thrilled to meet. I mean, the guy that won World War II for us. I mean, he couldn't have been nicer. And I got a picture from my uncle who worked for ABC. My uncle Steve, that I always mention, got me into photography. And I sent it to Eisenhower and asked if he would autograph it. And they sent back a thing that the glossy pictures were too hard for him to make his signature visible. So if they didn't mind, here's one with an autographed transcription border at the bottom. Somewhere, and when I get to the garage, somewhere someday, I hope to find that damn picture in a box. I know I wouldn't have gotten rid of it, but whether my mother or something did when I was away at college. But it was just so cool to think of how things are today. You can never imagine the ex-president of the United States walking down, talking to a bunch of Boy Scouts, and spending 20 minutes with us. It was really a very cool experience.
Actually, Jimmy Carter would have done the same
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah,
Jimmy Carter was
yeah,
very much a people person.
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
God bless
Look
him.
where it got him. They're both dead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, we have there's a line in EMS we have. Sooner or later, everybody goes flatline.
Right.
Let's make
That's
that later,
right.
please.
Much.
Sooner than you think.
We're doing Rainbow
Much.
Lake. We're going fishing. Maine was one of my last two states I had to get to. It was number 49 for me, so I was very glad we got there. The Assacoozes Dam.
Tell that.
It looks pretty dangerous, guy. Don't do that.
It's like a wooden schoolway.
Fort
Yeah, it's not.
Western in Augusta, Maine. Looks cool. I haven't been there. Got to go there. Back to Maine.
So
My
what was your
ex-boss from
last state to visit?
Alaska. Alaska was the last one. Yeah, my ex-boss from Warner Brothers moved up to Maine, and Carol and I went and visited her on their first year that they were up there. And there was a unit in their complex, the HOA type thing. It was another unit down the street. And she was saying, you got to come, you got to buy this house. It's for sale. It's so great. We can live together. We can do all these things. And I said, what possessed you to go to Maine? She goes, well, we had a big summer reunion here every year. And I just love it. And I said, have you ever been here in winter? And she goes, no. I said, remind me after your first winter. And she's like, we're never spending another winter here again. We're off to Lake Tahoe now. We're really hopping around all over the place, aren't we?
Yeah.
Using that transporter.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Our dentist has a house up at Lake Tahoe, and I keep thinking that he has the lake at Lake Tahoe because I have the implants and I've got to pay for the house at Lake Tahoe.
Yeah, it means he's overcharging you.
Yeah. Now this is the sort of thing, this slide here is really a crappy slide. It's out of focus and everything, but this is what sometimes they would do. They'd be mass producing these things like crazy. Sometimes I'll end up with a picture of the same thing on 2 or 3 slides, and the lighting will be different. The exact same picture because the people are in the exact same pose, but sometimes they're all shifted a little to the left or things a little down. because again, if you got some factory and you're just cranking through this, maybe this was a Friday afternoon, somebody was in the hurry to get on the way home from work, but that would be a shame. You spend your money and that's what you get. We were able to go, we were talking about Bonanza earlier, we were able to go to the Ponderosa Ranch at Lake Tahoe while it was still a tourist concern. And that was really great fun. I'm a huge fan of Bonanza. I'm looking over at my wall. I've got a map of the Ponderosa up on the wall over there. To actually go through there was great fun. But then Larry Ellison of Oracle fame bought it for himself, and that was the end of that. Picturesque Lake Tahoe. And a different part of Las Vegas, of Nevada, we go to Las Vegas.
Yeah.
Carol, you may appreciate this. These were when slot machines were really slot machines. You put coins in, you pull the lever, and they made a hell of a noise when it all came down. And you could figure out easily if you won or not by the 3 things go across the line. Today, we were just in a casino recently, 97 patterns, and so it's only a penny, but you need to play 10 penny or $2 at a time or something. But yep. And what's amazing about this picture, there's no smoke clouds, but look at all the ashtrays. Bing, bing, bing.
Oh,
Round and around she goes. Where she stops, nobody knows.
In the house's pocket.
What a cool hat, huh?
that's her real hair.
These pictures made me wonder what the photographer's lighting kit was.
Yeah. But this
You
again
don't
is
see
the sort of
anybody
thing-
holding this, nobody with a cigarette either.
No, this again, these are why you would buy these in the first place. You can't get pictures like this yourself.
Yeah.
The
They
key-
might have been staged photos, publicity
Actually,
photos.
that earlier picture
Yeah.
with the hat, that was Elsbeth. Have you ever seen that show? She wears
Yes.
stuff like that. That's Elsbeth.
We love that show.
Yeah, it's a
Oh,
lot of
yeah.
fun.
Her funniest line in that show was when she saw that other lady and she says, "You're odd or you're weird" or something, remember?
Yeah.
Showtime at the Stardust Hotel. Okay, here we go. The Thunderbird
Yum Yum
Hotel.
Tree.
Some of these places are gone, right? But we get to see Under the Yum Yum Tree. with
Wow.
the big cast.
Robert
It's
Q.
a
Lewis.
country and western topless show. Country western topless.
You don't have hee haw, you have haw haw. And of
Haw-haw.
course, I'm sure everybody in this talk is a huge fan of the Giesenslow
Zinslow.
brothers.
Who the heck's that? Hi, some
Robert
girl.
Q.
Hey,
Lewis.
wasn't
Yes,
he in
I-
Adventures
He was
in
really
Paradise?
famous in this day.
Hey, Gardner,
Who?
hey, wasn't he Adventures in
Giesenslow.
Paradise, the TV show?
That
Well,
And they misspelled
Gardner
midnight.
McKay.
Who's Virginia Mayo?
and we have to go see.
Coquette.
The family owned the mayonnaise company.
She owns the mayonnaise company.
Sloopy and the Red Barons. And then Buddy Michaels down in a very small fringe benefits.
Were these on the strip at the time?
Oh,
And
yeah,
they have liberal slots.
yeah.
Yeah, now
Those
they're
must
so
be-
tight.
Those must be Democratic slots, huh? Not Republican ones.
Yeah.
No,
we
there's
can-
slots that pay out.
Yeah, I know.
And down below.
You heard it, the strip is suffering financially now because they drained everybody's money.
Down below, we have Churchill Downs with race and sports books, a liquor locker, car rental. A very important thing, checks cashed.
Actually, that what you were saying about them being low, the strip is hurting. It's because
Yeah.
there are no Canadians have stopped coming to Vegas
Mhm.
because they're peeved at the president for saying, "Oh, Canada should be the 51st state." So they've
Well, and
stopped
the
coming.
tariffs too.
Yeah.
Not just Canadians, it's foreign visitors from Europe too. They don't want to come to the States anymore.
No,
Right.
Canada in particular, though, they showed that because they used to have special lanes at the airport. They showed Toronto Airport last week where they have like 12 booths of people to fly from Toronto in the United States, and all the people staying there, not one person getting on board.
Mm-hmm.
So here we have
You
the
can see-
script. Again, things have
You can
changed.
see
so much.
Circus Circus. See Circus Circus in the center left?
Yeah, here's
There it
Circus
is,
Yeah.
upper left.
here. The frontier. But I mean,
None
look
of the-
at this
that-
empty
none-
space.
Say none of those vacant lots anymore. That's
Nope.
all filled in.
Not
Yeah.
many tall buildings here either.
No.
That's been demolished.
The landmark, yep, was used in the James Bond movie, with the Diamonds Live Forever. The White
See,
House.
see the Sky Streak elevator going up the side? It's Sky Streak.
Yep, escalator,
Yep.
I mean, elevator going up. Downtown Fremont Street.
Oh, the
which
Fremont
is today.
Hotel.
The plaza's still there at the end of the block. There's
Mhm.
Vegas Vic, that sign waving at you.
Or can you
Vegas
see?
also hasn't helped itself by putting in parking fees, resort fees. You know, so if you go there and you think your room's gonna be, say, $50 a night, by the time you're done, it's $195 a night, you know, I mean, so the,
Yeah, and the
they-
buffets went from $10 to $100.
yeah, exactly, the cheap hotels, you don't get the, 95-cent shrimp cocktails or anything.
Jackie Green.
Yeah,
Vic
Who
Damone.
would want to go there?
$2.99.
Jackie
So
Green.
is
guys
it
see
Strip
the,
area?
Can you see my matchbook? He mentioned Circus Circus, and I just happen to have a matchbook sitting on my desk.
Oh,
So
wow.
is the strip area in financial trouble, or is this just the news articles you read about?
I think all.
No, they are hurting because they're not
All of Vegas.
hiring. They've been letting people go from a lot of the casinos.
They did it to themselves. They got too greedy. I mean, you
Yeah.
don't have to go to Vegas to gamble anymore.
No, families go to Vegas now.
The
You can gamble
Tropicana
any
Golf
place.
Course.
That experiment ended, Scott.
Well, no, you still have families going, but not as big
Yeah,
as
they
it
were
was
trying to go
pre-COVID.
for a while there. They were having a huge campaign for families, but they gave it
Mhm.
up.
Let me just
Well,
look through the,
I have a friend, she has 5 of her kids working there between her children and their in-laws. And it is, some days they know they'll have a job, but next week they may be told you're going to get laid off in 30 days.
That's
Yeah,
right.
sorry.
It's that volatile.
Right.
But you have people in Maine who said they lost all their reservations from Canadians.
Right.
They
Yeah.
said, one person said, 80% of my reservations canceled. She goes, I
That's
do
right.
not know if I will be here next year.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a shame.
And where's she gonna go?
oh, okay, Eric posted, if you go to the link, Eric posted the thing, the Casa Bonanza flipping off the Viewmaster photograph.
Oh, I
Wow.
want to see that.
I need to look for one other thing here real quick. Let me go. Pictures.
Ah, yes.
Where did that thing go? Somewhere I don't know where I put it. The poor deer that we met on Route 17. So I've got the video. I mean, it just comes up out of nowhere. I mean, if you know that particular section of road, 2 lanes, a giant wide wooded median, 2 more lanes, and this deer just comes up out of a ditch. And I mean, if you had seen it coming from a long distance, but I mean, he's just right on me. So that's what, again, you say to yourself, again, if I was a second earlier, I could have had a deer through the windshield of the car. So
Yeah.
but I hope people enjoyed some of the things we saw here today. I've got a lot more. Maybe oh, by the way, next week there will not be any talk. I'm going to be running a detail for the Granada Hills Street Fair. So if anybody is in the area and you would like my tickets to the beer garden, I will be able to glad to give them to you because you're not allowed to drink in uniform. about
Oh, save a couple beers
years ago,
for us.
we had a volunteer who finished his shift and went into the beer garden. And I got this urgent call from his sergeant, get them the hell out of there now. So,
Hey, Bill, can I show one picture real quick?
yeah, sure. Let me make you co-host here. 1 second, make
And
co-host.
hey, Bill, I wanted to ask you too, like, can you do the same thing with those, the Pana view things, the
The Viewmasters?
Viewmasters?
Yeah, yeah. I actually have a really neat program that you can take those and put them on there, and then you scan it on the flatbed, and it will go and make the 3D pairs for you.
Cool.
I still
Well,
got my 3D ViewMaster. I
yeah, I
kept
do
it since I
too.
was a
Yeah.
kid. I have it.
Okay, who are we looking at here?
So I was at
It's
an
me.
event in Orlando a couple weekends ago called Retro Magic, and they had several speakers talking about the living sea. So Brock, they shared this picture up on the screen, and I was like, "Hey,
You want
Oh,
to know
neat.
something very interesting about this picture?
yeah,
I am looking at one of the actual photographs as we are speaking. It's right above my desk here on a board that I have. It's exactly so that's myself back there. Kim Murphy, that's
That's
Alan
you.
Moyer. That's me with the black beard, yes. And then that's Tim Delaney, and I've unfortunately forgotten this guy's name. I know him very well, but it just left my head. But that's interesting that they had that up there. Yeah, this is the Living Seas team. Alan was the architect for the
Nice.
facility. I was the show set designer and worked on the facility original layout of it. Kim Murphy was our head designer, the project, not designer, show producer. And Tim Delaney was the show designer, did a lot of most of the artwork for it. And yeah, that was the team.
How old's
yeah."
the
So
picture?
Tim and Kim were both there speaking, and they normally put these presentations out on YouTube. It takes them a little while to get them all edited, so I don't think they're out there quite yet. But eventually, this presentation will be out there.
How
Okay,
old's the
we'll have to,
photograph?
What year
What
was
year
this
is that?
photo?
It's
this
86.
this would have been right around 85, 86, somewhere in that range. Yeah.
Wow.
The
Like
the,
40
the,
years,
the
40
pavilion
years
opened
ago.
in 86, and this was earlier on than that. So this might have been 84, somewhere around there, 84,
Okay.
85, maybe. Yeah.
Living Seas opened in 86, so wasn't there in 82 when
Still got the same beard.
Wasn't there what?
What
You
Epcot
still got
opened
the
in
same shape
82?
of the beard.
Living Seas wasn't there then?
When?
When Epcot opened in 82?
No, Living Seas
No.
was the first pavilion in the second phase.
Okay.
We were, yeah, it was slowed down. As a matter of fact, that's why one of the reasons I ended up in Tokyo installing the show there, besides that they needed somebody, but the Living Seas was kind of put on hold at that point. They were not going to try to make it an opening day portion of it. So it opened in 86.
Because I had done some initial work with Barry Braverman about Living Seas way back early on, and the concept then
Yeah.
one was that they would put you in a sealed glass ball and take you through the tank of water with the fish all around you. And
Right.
that would have been a really novel idea until we started saying, how the hell would you ever evacuate it?
Yeah, well, it went through iteration. Also, at that time, the whole pavilion was one where you came in one end and you either rode a ride or walked through seeing the exhibits and right out the other end. There was no place where you could come back and look at things and spend time at them. You just kind of went through, saw them, and so when I got on board, started looking at the fact that why don't we make this like a miniature park in the sense that there's the hub, which was the main sea base, and then all the little displays around it, and you could spend time looking out into the aquarium, and then we had the in-tank, what we call the in-tank module, which is where you did ride into it, but it wasn't a glass tube. They decided they didn't want to go that way with it.
Yeah, the initial concept that they had was basically a S-type curve, and you get these glass balls, and they would go
Right.
fish would swim around in between. and everybody's real excited about that. And then one guy came up with a whole big thing about how are you going to keep this thing cool and what's it going to do for condensation, and what do you then they actually built some of these things to try to mock them up, that if you're in there and everybody's breathing, could you actually see out of it? But then somebody, I remember in a meeting, said, one day, you ever been on the monorail when it broke down? Yeah. Well, okay, we have to send a tug out to get people. What are we going to do if this thing breaks down? Okay,
Yeah,
with another design.
yeah. Well, that's why it ended up being a much larger tunnel, and there was
Yeah.
actually a walking path alongside of it,
Right.
so you could get out and everything. But yeah, well, thank you, Beth. That's very interesting.
Beth,
Like I
that was
said,
really
when
cool.
when I came up on the screen, I went, "This is weird." I can look right up above, like turn my head a couple of degrees, and I'm looking at the exact same picture. So
Brock,
Yeah, thanks, Beth.
anybody
It was
here ever
nice.
been to the aquarium in Auckland?
what's that?
Yeah,
Anybody been to the aquarium in
yeah,
Auckland?
yeah.
No.
They took a former sewage plant and turned it into an aquarium. And one of the things they did there was put all these big glass tunnels that you can walk through. And all the fish are
Yeah.
just like lying on the sharks are coming to lie on the top of the thing to rest or whatever. And it was
Yeah.
really, I thought, a really wonderful aquarium and a
It
great
is.
use of a building they didn't need anymore.
Yeah. Isn't it called Two Oceans Aquarium?
I don't recall. It's been a
I
number of
think
years.
that's what it's called.
Yeah. Oh, the Giesenslaw brothers are from Austin. Okay. Who knows? I now I'm going to be out trying to collect the greatest hits. So, let's see. Beth, you're going World's Fair Visions of Tomorrow, the Wolfenson. Yeah, it's supposed to be really good. I'd like to hear. Take a lot of pictures, and you can fill us in when you get back.
It all depends on travel. Right now there's so many travel delays because of this government shutdown. So I have a relatively early flight. If my flight leaves on time, I think I would have time to go over there tomorrow afternoon, but it really just depends on travel delays.
Yeah, Burbank was the first airport to be shut down. All the air traffic controllers just decided they were going to go home. So,
Yeah, Jimmy Kimmel's been having fun with that.
Well, again, I forget his name is Duffy, the Secretary of Transportation. Suck it up, children. Well, he's getting paid. They're not getting paid. So
Yeah.
if you don't get paid, maybe I'll go work at the 7-Eleven for the night and pick up $10 and feed my family. So, with this government shutdown, if you stop paying Congress, all of a sudden these things would get resolved a hell of a lot faster.
That's
Of
great.
course.
God,
Of course.
it's crazy. Well, so next week, no talk, but 2 weeks from now, hopefully I'll get some more. I did finally get to edit some of the movies that you've seen in raw shape at the beginning of the week before the week got crazy. I got a bunch of them finished and color corrected and, that sort of thing. So I might have some of those. Or we only got as far as Nevada. There's still, I can have so many of these Pana View slides, but again, I hope it made people think. Well, I went back and people mentioned Gettysburg. I have a ton of Gettysburg slides. So going alphabetically, when we'll get to Pennsylvania and go see Gettysburg. So hope everybody.
Bill?
Yeah. I wanted to mention to y'all that Carrie and I went and saw Tron Ares
Oh, how'd you like it?
in IMAX 2 nights ago, and it was just awesome. And you're seeing all the bad reviews and stuff, and it's like, what do they expect? I mean, it's just absolutely amazing. The special effects and the soundtrack. I mean, the story doesn't follow Legacy, which is disappointing, but it's still, great standalone Tron movie. And yeah, it's visually just insane. And
Oh, that's
so,
interesting. Carol and I were just mentioning the other day. I mean, Carol's not a computer person, but she was saying what the first one wasn't such a great movie, but it was really great to watch it being filmed. I mean, it was so strange to go on a soundstage and somebody would be jumping from here to there, and then they put the all the computer effects in later. And
Sure.
I think I may have mentioned that I was there one day and a guy was asking me who I was, and I told him I worked in IT security. Oh, but you're a real computer guy. And they actually came over to my office and they wanted to shoot the scene in where he's just sitting at his desk and there's just rows of cubicles go off forever. And my boss said, no way, no part of that. So they came in and they photographed my office in great detail and they rebuilt it on the sound stage and extended that without matte paintings. So when
wow.
I was talking to them, I could say, hey, there's my Scotch tape dispenser, and there's my pencil cup. So I got
That
a
was awesome.
real kick out of seeing that. So, yeah, I mean, it was great fun to watch, but yeah, I have to see the new one.
Yep. For sure.
Bill, how was the scout reunion?
What's that?
How was the scout
For the
reunion?
reunion on Long Island, it was really, really great. We had, for people that don't know it, we have a Boy Scout camp in the Catskill Mountains, the lake that's behind me. And every year we have an annual reunion. This year we couldn't use the camp because they were not sure the water tower needed repairs. So we moved it to our Long Island camp. It's out on Wading River, New York. And we had about 30, maybe 40 people, not a huge number of people, but it was a nice time. And a number of people had not been back to that camp for years because, they would go to, most of us would go to that camp on Long Island for, winter camping and then go up to Onteora for the summer camping. And most of these people had not been to the Long Island camp in 30, 40 years. So we had a good time. Matter of fact, I don't have it here anymore. I posted my shotgun picture, not shotgun, 22 picture online. And I used to teach it. I still got it. I didn't do too badly with it, but we had a great time. And Carol and I got in a day earlier. We went to Shelter Island. You can live in a place all your life and never go there. Long Island has two forks, aptly named North and South Fork. And in between is a thing called Shelter Island, which aptly named because it's sheltered from the water on either side. Never been there. You take a little tiny ferry, holds 9 cars. You go over there, drive across the island, come across the other side. And we had a wonderful time. And then we went from there. We left there, drove up to Onteora, walked around the lake, had a great time there. Drove out, hit the deer, went up to the Finger Lakes for a couple of days. New York's having a hell of a drought.
Yeah.
Yeah. So all sorts of things upstate. Waterfalls are drying up. Like we wanted to go to Thatcher's State Park in Albany, which has a beautiful, beautiful waterfall. No, but while we were there, and just things worked out. While we were there, they were doing a hawk migration. That there was a huge thing of hawks that were migrating through there, and a bunch of guys out there counting and writing down all the types of hawks and how many seen in which direction or whatever. And had a real nice talk with them about birding. And then we went up to my college town. And again, things sometimes work out. There was a guy that I worked with at a radio station that he was 2 years behind me. So if I go back every 5 years for my reunion, he's never there because his reunions are 2 years behind mine. Well, I happened to post, I'm going to Potsdam tomorrow, and he saw it online. He goes, I'm going to be in Potsdam tomorrow because he's moving back there. So we had lunch together. First time we had seen each other in 48 years. It was just real. Sometimes things just work out. But yeah, it was actually, we did I'm trying to remember. It was 1,800 miles of driving across New York State, and we had a really great time. I'm sorry you weren't able to join us. We're planning on being back there next year. So, and then part of the volunteering hours this week, our council and the Suffolk County Council are going to merge if the vote goes through. The guys in Suffolk, real quick, because most people probably don't care, but Scott might. The guys in Suffolk County managed to basically bankrupt themselves, and they were in danger of being shut down, and we didn't want to lose their camp and everything. So our council made an offer: we'll take you in and we'll make you a merger of equals. So they take you in, get the same number of seats on the board, you do all this. They voted it down. I mean,
who voted it down?
Suffolk voted it down. Yeah, council voted for it. Suffolk voted it down by a very large percentage. So this would be like somebody coming in and saying, look, I'm going to do you a favor. You're in debt. You're going to lose your house and you can't pay for your medical insurance. I'll pay that, all of it for you. And, there are no ifs, ands, or buts. I'll just do it for you. And they said, no. Well, National came back and said, okay, here's the deal. You either merge with somebody or we're going to shut you down. And now being out on the eastern tip of Long Island, there are only options to merge with us to the west of them on Nassau, or to go across Long Island Sound and merge with Connecticut, or they were even trying to talk about Rhode Island. And National said, are you out of your mind? And he said, again, you can decide to merge, but we're not going to approve any mergers with anybody other than Nassau. So you can either merge with Nassau or we'll shut you down and sell everything off. So the vote comes up, I think, on the 24th of this month. I think this time you can see which way it's going to go.
Bill, are they going to keep the Theodore Roosevelt name, or is
Yes.
there?
And that was things that worked out really well. If you do it, again, too much Boy Scout Arcania here. If you merge two councils, you have to come up with a new name. So you can't have Teddy Roosevelt Council and you merge with Suffolk County. But if you acquire them as a non-equal, but as an acquiree, you can keep your name. So we will still be Teddy Roosevelt Council, and then they will be part of us. The only thing that has to be decided is you have Buckskin Lodge for the Order of the Arrow, and they have Shinnecock Lodge, and then they have to merge the lodges into one, and the youth gets to decide on what the name will be for that. But you can't keep Indian names for lodges anymore, so they can't keep Shinnecock. So we'll see, what they end up calling it. But politics has just been insane.
I got one correction for you. It's Theodore Roosevelt, not Teddy.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Let's remember that.
I know.
He used to get demerit.
No, but I worked at the Teddy Roosevelt shelter at camp, so to me, it's always Teddy. I have so much Theodore Roosevelt patch crap all over my house that it's definitely Theodore Roosevelt.
Okay, I've got a couple to show you then next week that my son had. It was given to him by original members of his troop. And at one time, his troop maintained a part of the Appalachian Trail, and they were the only troop to do such. And they made a neckerchief, and the gentleman actually sent my son one when Dylan made Eagle.
Oh,
and yeah, it was really an honor. But
I know the mail just came today with 2 more junior leader training course neckerchiefs for him, so they'll be on the site soon.
You got a lot of stuff, Bill.
I live in the past. I guess some of us do, and the present is too damn depressing. So living in the past,
Yep.
again, Boy Scouts in particular. I met my college roommate who became the best man of our wedding, Bill Troop, through the Boy Scouts. I think it did a tremendous amount of things for me, for my personal development over time. And sometimes when I've been out and handling somebody in an accident and you're putting a bandage on them, and you might appreciate this, Scott. Somebody says, "Oh wow, where'd you learn that?" LAPD give you courses, and I go, "No, I learned that for first aid merit badge." So I'm still very involved with Boy Scouts because I think it was now it's Scouting USA. Can't say Boy Scouts anymore other than do merit.
Yeah,
it's always Boy Scouts, just like it's always Wet Enterprises. They can change, but I don't have to. So, well, again,
Hey, Bill.
2 weeks. And Brock, I'll look forward to those files you were going to send me. Oh,
Well, I was just going to say, no, you were right. I could do it on Photoshop. I just had never had the files as a PDF when I was in my Photoshop computer. So I was going to ask if you want to share the screen. I'd like to show that so people can see what you were trying to show them last week from the,
Sure.
just holding up in front of you.
Yeah, real quick, Scott.
Ha ha ha.
My pencil cup. There's a Gathering of Eagles.
Yeah, no, this was when when Theodore Roosevelt and Suffolk had a joint jamboree in 2000.
Right.
And that's when they first talked about merger, and they held this joint jamboree.
Yeah.
And within a year, it went totally south of the border.
With these mugs from Boy Scouts is a big joke. It's like you can get 10 mugs for $10 or you can get 20 mugs for $1. Which they did it for our administration building up at the camp behind us. The whole giant window is just lined with mugs from all sorts of things. And somebody at one point said, "You're not worried about anybody stealing them?" And somebody said, "No, people just keep adding to it." I mean, I have crates of these things in the garage. I keep thinking about going out and doing skeet practice, So Yeah, Brock, let me make you a co-host, and then we'll do this
Okay.
quick, and then I gotta run.
All right.
Make
I'll do it
co-host.
I'll try to do it real fast here. Let's see. Co-host. So
Oh.
I do share. Let's see. Share and then bring up. Where is it? There it is. There we go. Can people see that?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, I see it.
That's
So
special.
that, and I'll bring it up. That was the. I'll bring it up in scale, and then we can scroll through it. But there's what the sheet looked like. You can see Apollo 7, Apollo 8, Apollo 9, Apollo 10. Then it goes to 11. There's 2 for 11. There's one of just splashed down. It's more of a generic one. Apollo 12, where they went out to the uh, just
Surveyor.
blanked out on, yeah, Surveyor. Then the Apollo 13, this is the shot of the after they separated, got it back to Earth. You can see the damage here. This is Apollo 14, getting ready to launch. Apollo 14 on the moon with the little cart they had to pull. Then Apollo 15, there's one of the command module and service module in orbit. And then that was the first one that had the rover. Then Apollo 16 with a rover and coming back from the moon. And finally Apollo 17. And Apollo, and that's that was the farewell to the moon, and then Skylab, and then Apollo Soyuz. So those were all the Apollo missions. And then on the back side of it, I have this thing here, which, oops, wrong way. There we go. Gives a history of all the different, come on down. Missions. It talks about the salvage yard on the front, which you saw also had the patches from all the missions, and a little quick history of each of what happened on each of the different things.
Yeah, it looks so legit.
Yeah, well, I made it look realistic. Unfortunately, I have to just put this in words and can't even talk about what the design is, just a suggestion that they maybe look at doing this down the road. So we'll see what happens. But I just thought, yep.
The one, I believe it's Apollo 17. It looks like it was hit by a lightning strike, all that burnt area in the middle on the second stage.
Which one? Oh, no, the Apollo 14.
Right there.
Yeah, no, that's just the way the lighting was in that photograph. Let's bring it up again a little bit in size.
Yeah.
No, it's just the light there. Oh, I see. No, I think it's just shadow and light from the way it was being lit. There was a lot of uplighting on it that was showing lighting on it. So no, it wasn't hit by lightning before. Although one of them was hit by lightning when it took off. Yeah. And they never did it on, but anyway, that was just kind of a fun little project that I just thought, this is something they should do, and what would I put together? So, and then these two shots here of the Earth and the moon were taken by Apollo astronauts while they were going. This was the last one from Apollo 17, and this is where they coined the phrase the big blue marble. When he shot this one of the Earth as they were heading back towards it after being on the moon. So
cool.
And so you can put some ultraviolet tags on this, and we can just run it through the automatic sorting machines.
Were these stamps ever issued? Or did they issue?
No. This is just a little design project I did on the side in the last month or so. And but I'm going to propose that they do something like this. I just can't. They don't allow you to talk about how you would design it. You talk about what the subject matter is and any suggestions on like the history of it on the back and that sort of thing. But you have to let them have their designers come up with something. If you send it to them, they just send it back to you rejected because they don't accept unsolicited artwork.
Well, they used to, right? I mean, they used to have contests and stuff.
Well, they did, yeah, sort of in a way, but they don't really do that anymore.
And
so
what about that stamp program where you could just design your own stamp anytime?
Well, yeah, that's something else. I mean, I could probably do something like that, but I don't use that. I collect postage stamps, not people's little computerized
no.
things.
No, but I was just thinking it would be a way to bring this
but they-
dream alive for sure. You know, it's just
They
Oh
found
yeah, I
problems-
could do something like that.
I found problems with that print your own stamp when things started doing, people put out stamps and they put John Wayne Gacy's picture on stamps and did all sorts of terrible,
oh
terrible things.
brother.
Then they
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, they always have to
So-
abuse it. Don't
Oh
they?
yeah, whatever you come up with, somebody, as soon as you
Yeah.
invent something, there's somebody in the background going, "Mwah."
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
If they'd only spend that time for good.
Oh God, we say that all the time. I mean,
Yep.
the scams and everything going on with, computer scams and elder abuse scams. We just had a whole big
Oh yeah.
elder abuse scams and stuff. And my God,
Yep.
people would only put their time into good.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
as one of the detectives says, yeah, but good doesn't pay as well. So,
Yeah.
Bad
Oh,
can
anyway.
end up in prison. So,
yeah. Well, thanks, guys. I got to run, and
Thank you,
we'll
Bill.
see you in 2 weeks. Hope everybody has a great time. Great, Beth. I hope your
All
flight
right.
gets off on time.
Yeah. Thanks, Bill. Thanks,
Right,
Bill.
thank
Goodbye,
you.
everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
bye,
Bye-bye.
buddy.